the I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.
Lana Blocker, welcome.
Thank you.
Of Broadway Skateland.
Yes. Skateland. I wore my
super excited to talk to you about this. I mean, I'm excited to talk to everyone, but I'm still excited about this. But your place I'd gone to a long time ago because I grew up northeast of here.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that.
Yeah.
I want to hear your story too, but
sure.
I'll wait.
Well, I grew up northeast. Do you know you're from here originally, right?
Yes. I'm from Rockwall.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, pretty much I had a half life in Mesquite also.
Yeah, so you go north from Rockwall, like you're heading out to Lake Levon. That's where I grew up, out in like Nevada, Copeville, that area. Okay. But anyway, so we went to your place, I guess, years ago. And then I haven't been.
But what's years ago? Like,
so I'm 40, so I guess it would have been. Okay,
so I'm 30. Well, I'll be 39 this year.
Yeah.
So you went in what, the 90s?
Probably late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay. So I don't know if it was. So we leased it out in 2003, I think.
Oh, okay.
For the past 20 years.
Oh, wow.
But so I don't know if you were like my dad's era or the dude leasing it era, but.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, we went back for a kid's birthday party recently, and we were like, no freaking way. And we just had a blast. It was a great time.
I'm so glad.
So I talked about it a little bit on just some random episode, but I don't know. It was like one of the few times I felt like I've gone somewhere recently where you get value for money, where like you feel like you're getting fun, but you're not getting ripped off. Do you know what I mean? I think it's because I'm going to kids' birthday parties all the time right now. And everything's like, it's like you can't have a birthday party for a kid for like $800 now.
Yeah.
It's like insane. But so wait, go over that though. You said it's leased now?
No. Okay, so there's lots of stories, but
yeah, pick one.
Basically, my dad took over from his grandfather. My grandfather built it, and that's a great story. We should go over later. But my dad took over in 1975 or 6, and then all the way up until like 2003, I think. And then I went to college, and my dad was right now he's 78. So however old he was like, it's time to lease it. He's sick of it. So he leased it to just another dude that did roller rinks for the last like 20 years. I took back over in 2023.
Oh, wow.
So it was leased out for the, past 20 years, basically. He leased it for 20 years, and he kept it in business, and I'm very happy. But then I took back over because that guy retired.
Oh, okay. Wow. So wait, so it was your grandpa, your father, the lease, now you.
Yeah, and there were some leases in between then.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Whoa. Okay, and the grandfather's, I didn't know it was in the 70s is when it opened.
No, it opened in 61.
Or that's when you took it over, 61?
Yeah. You want to hear the background?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Okay. So, when my dad and my aunt were very little, I think my aunt was like 4 or 5, they got into a really bad car wreck, and it crushed her legs, like shattered her leg, all of her legs. And she was in these crazy braces, like worse than Forrest Gump braces. Like it was crazy leg braces. And they said she'll never walk again, or at least she won't walk normally. And there's going to be an issue her whole life. Well, she healed to where she could walk, and everything was okay. So they took her to physical therapy. They said, outside of here, the best thing to do is go roller skating because it's easy on your joints, but you will build muscle because it's low impact, right? So the family went roller skating every weekend to try to, get her to be normal again or whatever. And my grandfather built houses for a living. Like that was his business then in like the 50s. And I guess they were at so many roller rinks. He was like, I could probably build one of these things, was looking at how it was built. So he bought that plot of land that Broadway Skateland is on, and he built it for that reason.
Holy cow.
And then she became a national champion figure skater. You would have never known her whole life that anything was wrong with her.
What?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Sherry Petty.
Sherry Petty.
Well, Sherry Blocker.
Yeah. When she won the championship, what was her name?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Was she married yet?
Probably Blocker.
Yeah. Wow. Holy cow. What it was 61 when he finished and they opened?
Yes. They started building it in 59.
Wow.
Finished in 61 and opened.
You don't hear stories like that anymore of like we bought a plot of land and built this.
Right?
You know what I mean? Because Mesquite would have been so different back then too. There would have been plots of land to buy still.
And it was called Broadway because there's like a square, like if you go, it's sad now. It's like where Poncho's is now. There's like all these like buildings that are empty.
Yeah.
But it was called like Broadway Square. And so it's like,
okay.
well, that was the only thing that was around. And he was like, Broadway Skateland. Like,
wow.
So,
I can't. It's hard to imagine businesses lasting that long now. You know what I mean? And like, don't take this the wrong way, but it's a business around fun too. It's not like you're selling something that gets used every single day. That's like a necessity. It's like an option for people, and like all the different things that would have survived the different recessions, COVID, all those types of things, and it somehow held through. Like, do you think about that when you're running it?
Yes.
That like it's not it. Does it even feel like yours, or does it feel like it's a lighthouse, like you're a steward of it, and like it's going to be, like you're here taking care of it now, and it's going to go on to somebody else?
Well, don't even get into that.
No?
I hope so, but I don't have a kid right now, and so I'm an only child.
Okay.
And so it's like, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully it will keep going. Yes. Like I'm going to spend my whole life. Like I want to make it. I just imagine like when my grandfather built it, like, he started in 59. If you take so I redid all like the glittery floor that's in there now. I did that. I paid for that. But like, so when they took everything out to do that, I was like, this place is so huge, like without the arcade games, because they didn't have arcade games in the 60s, right? And I was like, this place was so big. Like, I don't know. But,
you don't think about the future yet. It's just living in the moment for it. I mean, that's how you should do it. You should enjoy running this cool, unique business right now instead of thinking that far ahead. But I mean, it's wild to think like how many people have run it to this point, and now it's yours. Correct. I mean, that's kind of nuts. What was the conversation like where y'all decided to not lease it and you thought, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take it over?
I've been wanting to do it forever.
Really?
Like, I mean, out of college, I was like a buyer for an electronics company, and I lived in Austin for a while. But after a while, I was like, I was really good at my job, and I was in charge of millions of dollars. But I was like, I have no passion. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm good at it, but I don't care. It's like, spreadsheets. So I told my dad, I'm ready. I want to take it over. And you know what he told me? He goes, are you going to be the one that digs the hairbrushes out of the toilet on Friday night after the blah, blah, blah? Like, like, are you going to be the one that didn't think I could do it, basically? Not to be rude to my dad. He's still alive. He's here. But not to be rude to him, but he didn't think I'd do it. And so he continued to lease it out. Also, the guy that was leasing it was like, he kept it in business when my dad was just like, I'm done, whatever. So he didn't want to just yank it from him. Like, so I don't know. It was a mix of those two things. But meanwhile, I quit. I got laid off from my buyer job. I lived with my mom, and I started this other company, like an Etsy shop, and I made like roller skate accessories, and it became a very good business. And I bought my own house with it. And all
Is that the one you're still running right now?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the name of that again? I saw it, but I forgot.
It's called Roller Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so my dad kind of in the meantime saw like, oh, she built her own business and like, became a functioning adult on her. Like she may be able to do it, you know. And then the dude was ready to retire. And so I guess I had proved to my dad that I can. And I just recently replaced all the plumbing. So I did have to, it wasn't a hairbrush, but I had to dig a vape that was stuck down in the toilet.
Sign of the times, right?
So that was
oh my
fun.
gosh. Yeah, and it's all the non-glamorous stuff like that it takes to like keep a business going, where it's just thousands of dollars for pipes that you never see. It doesn't make the experience any better other than like it flushes and the water fountain works,
Yes.
I mean, but thinking about all the things that have probably had to be replaced since 61.
Yeah, just now, the plumbing, it was original cast iron.
No way. And it made it this long?
It made it
Holy cow.
And the only reason it made it this long, so it's like kind of a long story, but the vape was stuck in one of the toilets. So basically, they were just like, let's replace all the girls' toilets because they're all old anyway. I said, okay. And so when they brought like a scope in and, to find what was clogging it, well, the pipes just collapsed on his tool. And so anyway, so they were going to just replace that stuff. They dug under the foundation, whatever. And as they were taking the dirt away, all the pipes just started falling. Like, so the only thing
the dirt was holding it together.
The dirt was holding it together. So like, that's all that was holding it together, making everything flush and drain for the past, I don't know. Yeah. But that was fun. And
I mean, when you say you wanted to take it over, because to me, I mean, I don't own a business, like that, but I really, in my mind, I glorify those businesses because it exactly what you're talking about. Like, it's something that's fun. And then also it's a community service, right? Like the community gets to enjoy this thing if you do it well, and everybody wins, right? You make money, they have a place to go experience fun, but it seems so hard to make a buck on the outside, right? So, I mean, it feels crazy that you're like, I'm going to take it over. I want to do it. What was leading, like, why did you even want to take it over?
Let's see. Well, so when I went to college, I kind of just stepped away from skating. I did it as a kid, and
I mean, I'm assuming it was a huge part of your childhood, right?
huge. Yes, huge. But then when I got out of college, I used to skate for I was a sponsored skater for a roller skate company, and so I kind of got back into it. We skated in skate parks and all this fun stuff, and so I was back into the skate thing. And also, I never got to meet my grandfather. Like, he died before I was born, and it was just, and also I grew up at the skating rink. Like, I mean, everything my first steps were in the same office,
Yeah, yeah.
The Southern lady you were talking about, that's my mom.
Okay, yeah.
But like that, and I think I have the best childhood. My mom's always like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you were always at the skating rink," and I'm like, "No, like I had the coolest childhood to me." And my dad was the DJ. It's just, I don't know. I just think it's cool, and so it was always, I don't know. It's probably a much cooler thing in my brain than. Oh, I know it is a much cooler thing in my brain.
No, it's cool.
than in reality. But I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's cool.
I mean, just wanted to continue it, and also it kind of got run down after a while, and I want to make it beautiful again, kind of. And
well, I'm glad you said that, the rundown part, because that was one of our first things coming up. We were like, man, what's this place gonna be like? It's been here so long, and it was literally, one of my son's friends, they had the party there, and so we're getting the messages from their mom. Oh, it's gonna be Broadway, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're here in Dallas now. We just don't go that way that much. And when we were pulling up, it was that fear of like, what's it gonna be like? Is this thing gonna be like? Is our childhood about to be ruined? We had the same worry when we went to a kid's party at Chuck E. Cheese. You been to Chuck E. Cheese lately?
No.
What do you think it would be like?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, it was nice and it was all good. Both places, right? So when we got in there, and the first thing was like, holy cow! Like it's the nostalgia, but it's not like trashed. You know what I mean? We were worried it was going to be trashed out.
Yeah.
And then when I saw, I was like, oh my God, they still have like the old school speakers, all the stuff that.
So it's funny.
You know what I mean?
So
like,
I watched like the whole full podcast. Whatever,
oh,
but,
thanks.
So the speakers, you were like, it looks like it's, what did you say, 30 years old?
Yeah.
Those speakers, no, they are from 1975 when my dad took over. So my dad took over, and my dad's a musician. He plays bass, and he opened for Chuck Berry once in Dallas. Go. But he was like, oh, we have to put in these new speakers. He spent, I think in the 70s, it was $10,000 speakers, and his dad was like, you're so stupid, whatever, like you're taking over. Those are the same speakers.
They still sound incredible too.
It's not bad. I mean, so my cousin has a DJ business, and he's like, I hate those speakers. They sound horrible. But I think, they don't sound decent,
horrible,
right?
They don't sound horrible. That's like,
so they're way older than you clocked them as.
The problem is, to me, the 70s are still 30 years ago.
I know.
But no, I mean, how many vintage things? There's just a different sound to it that sounds good, right? And we were joking around about this, like we're just getting old, but like, my wife and I, so many of these places you go to now, they have these newer, more expensive sound systems, but the reality is, it's too loud. It's too perfect. It's not like, you need that little bit of. I don't know how to describe it. There's like a little bit of warmth and like distortion to those old speakers that just makes music sound better anyway. And when you're skating, you're not analyzing like, how good is this sound system? It's more about like that overall feeling while you're out there.
Yeah, as long as there's no echo, because that's a hard thing in a roller rink.
Oh yeah, where it's just wood floors and ceiling everywhere. Yeah. But no, they sound great. Don't swap them out. And just the look of it too, like seeing these huge speakers just kind of like falling out of the ceiling at you. That's a great look. Don't listen to your friend. He's probably right, but don't listen to him.
Okay, I won't.
You messaged me though. You said your dad was shooting the wires with crossbows to hook it all up.
He tells me, yes, whenever he hooked everything up, he would, he attached the wire to a crossbow and got like, in the ceiling at the front and shot it to the back, and
Yeah, wired it all up.
Because I mean, I've been up. I do all the repairs myself. Like the way you're saying, like it's hard for it to stay in business. Well, it's like all I do. So it's like I pay myself and I'm happy, whatever. But like I don't spend money on anything else. I go to the rink and I work, and then I have like Monday and Tuesday where I sleep, and then I either buy myself skate things, which I can write off, and that's great.
Yeah.
But like I don't require a lot of money because that is my life, kind of,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know, but I've been up in the ceiling, and it's such a hassle. You gotta take the ladder and pop a ceiling tile and get on the ceiling and do something, and then like carry the ladder 5 feet. And like it's horrible.
Yeah, because it's probably what, like a 15, 20 foot ceiling. It's pretty high up there. Like on the edges,
12.
it's lower, right? And then it goes higher in the middle.
I think it's 12.
Yeah. But yeah, just the little like, okay, move 1 foot, move 1 foot.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I really want them to invent like a remote control ladder. You know, like I'd be fine.
They have, scissor lifts, but those are like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you first took it over, what year was that? You said it was 23?
23.
23?
Yeah.
And you get the keys or whatever. I mean, do you have a moment of excitement, or are you thinking like, oh shit, this is real now?
Well, 4 days before I took over, I think it was like Christmas Eve or Christmas. I don't know. It was Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I don't know. One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
The previous guy. So normally, I guess I shouldn't say this, but we normally turn the water off if it's going to freeze because the pipes are so old. Now they're not because I just replaced them. But it's a problem. So if your pipes burst and it goes on the floor will expand and buckle because it's wood.
Yeah.
So we always turn the water off. Well, I guess 4 days before I was about to take over, I had already put my name on like the emergency contact for the city and all this stuff. A pipe burst because the previous dude, I guess, didn't turn the water, didn't know it was going to freeze. I don't know. So I get a call from the city at 8 a.m. on, I think it was Christmas Day. Maybe it was Christmas Eve. There's water running from your building. We're going to whatever. And it had flooded. Coming out of the boys' bathroom, and we were thinking it hadn't gotten on the floor. So we suctioned up all the water and this, whatever. And come February, as I had just taken it over, we started to notice the floor is a little wavy over here and like this.
Yeah.
And then it was real wavy, and then we had to block it off. And so then I had to I hadn't made any money yet because I had it for 2 months. So I spent my own money to fix the floor. I mean, because it was bad. It was.
Did you actually have to pull the planks out and put new ones in?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
So that was the begin. Like before I even took over, it was like freaking out and going up and squeegeing, shop back the water, and then dealing with that. At the
and you're just thinking, oh boy, mistake.
But I was like, hey, if this is gonna happen, like this is the worst that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the worst can happen, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I just live life like that now, though, where if I come into like a little bit of money or something really cool comes up, I always assume right around the corner, here's something that's going to take that away for a moment. And it's like, right when you're up, you're always going to get like, I'm not a pessimist. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
That's
it's
funny.
Like,
So the plumbing thing that I just had to, I replaced all of the plumbing, not the kitchen plumbing, but all of the bathroom, all that plumbing. Okay. I had just now, so I had, I bought all new rental skates also when I first took over from my own savings because it's dangerous. Like if a wheel's falling off every session, I'm at fault, right? So like I didn't want to get sued or something for something that the previous guy, his skates, right? So I bought all new. I mean, I'm sure you know
how many rental skates are in there usually?
I bought 329 pair.
Oh my god!
But there's still a couple.
I know, but that's just so many. You forget about that little overhead, right? Like people don't think, oh, you got to have enough rentals, because how much of a bummer would that be on a Friday night if you're like, yeah, we're out, we don't have any.
Anyway, so
300.
329 is what I bought.
Can I ask how much a pair of skates cost, a rental pair?
So I got it on a sale deal, but they were 189
a piece.
A piece. They're really, that's the best skates you can buy.
I know. I'm just saying, like, you don't think of those expenses,
But that was my own money because But I always say, like, I had this savings from after college, and it's like that money was always going to be like, it's reached its destiny. Like I wanted to run the rink, and I have the savings to do it, and so now spending all that money on this, it's like that's the money's destiny, and it has. Yeah.
And I guess the upside is you didn't technically have to like purchase the business, right?
Right.
So that's a nice head start where you have some money on the side to do what you want with it.
I pay my dad rent.
Yeah. Oh, so you're basically leasing it to him, essentially, like you're the owner, but yeah, that's funny. Yeah. I love how your dad's like, yeah, but you're still going to pay me though.
Oh yeah. I mean, because the thing in roller rink, world is no one really has retirement. It's like your retirement is you lease your business to the next person, or you lease or you sell your business, or you have this huge event venue. You have a big plot of
Yeah.
And so,
is that what your dad did his whole life?
No. So he was a ski instructor in Ruidoso through in the 70s, and some people had leased it out from my grandfather. Long story, but my grandfather had to take the lease back because they were doing things they weren't supposed to be doing. They got mad at him. They trashed the place. They stole everything that was in it, and they filled all of the pipes with cement. So my grandfather called my dad and Rita and was like, "Hey, you got to come help me, like, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
So my dad moved back. And he owned a bar. He owned a bar in Ruidoso, like burgers and a bar. He came back to get the rink back to functioning, and then he just never went back.
He just stuck around.
Yeah, but from 1976 on, that's what
Holy
he did.
cow. Yeah, so I mean, no retirement really, right? There's no 401k at the skate rink or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that would be, I mean, is there a big community of skating rink owners where you guys know each other and like shop talk and ideas?
There's a convention every year. It's in May. I'm not going to go, I guess, because the cutoff was yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's a very small community, but like we know each other. Yeah.
Because I mean, my wife and I were thinking about that because we just had so many good memories going to those events when we were younger. Like we've known each other since high school. She went to North Mesquite.
Oh.
And we went to, I can't remember what we were looking for, but we were thinking like, oh, we should just go. And we're here in Dallas. And it's like, I don't think there's one right in Dallas anywhere, which kind of blew our minds. And then we started thinking about like, I guess you got to have a pretty big piece of land. And so if it wasn't established, a while back, this is going to be a really expensive startup.
Yeah. The thing that sucks is it either has to be an old, like it's
like a warehouse
owned it for a
essentially,
long
right?
time, or it has to be some millionaire that's going to buy this land and make it.
Yeah.
So it sucks. It's like either mom and pop that's making it barely making it forever, or some millionaire that doesn't care,
Yeah.
Like,
and so essentially if the mom and pop decides to get out or closes down because they pass away or run their time or whatever, the land's going to be sold and something else is going to be developed. Right.
Yes.
It's going to be really hard to find somebody probably to purchase that business from them at that point.
Yeah. It's funny. There's several in doubt, like White Rock Skate Center.
Where's that at? I don't know.
White Rock.
Okay.
It's funny. So that the guy that owns that, he was my dad's fraternity brother.
Okay.
And so his family saw that my family built the rink. They were like, oh, this might be a good upcoming thing. And so that's why they built White Rock. Anyway, it was a fantastic rink. The guy, his name was Chuck Connor. He had brain cancer, and I don't know, like 15 years ago, he sold it. Like they didn't go out of business. He sold the property so his family wouldn't have to pay for medical bills. And like months after he sold it, he died. Like,
wow.
But it's still sitting vacant.
Oh, it's not being used right now?
No.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was. I was like, well, I don't know how because we live here in
there.
East Dallas. I was like, I don't know how we didn't know
that
about
was the
that.
Dallas one. But it's still sitting there, but no one.
Because what was the other one in Mesquite? Y'all have outlasted another one too. What was the other one?
It was originally called Westlake, but more recently it was Aloha.
Yeah. But
And
that's come and gone too, right?
Right.
Why do you think y'all's has been able to just cut through and stay?
I really don't. I mean, I think because most like, okay, the manager dude, you were like, that's cruising around on roller skates.
Yeah, he was incredible.
He was my parents' manager.
What's his name, by the way?
Richard.
Richard, okay.
So he was my parents' manager. He was the clown in the 80s. Like, he worked there since he was 13. He took a break. When I found out I was taking over, I called him. I was like, Richard, you got to come. Will you come help me?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's, like my partner. But people who have run Broadway, like, they care. Like, I mean, I care a lot, and Richard cares a lot more than someone just leasing a build. Like,
yeah,
you can't run a rink if it's not a passion. Like, there's too much work and you don't make enough money. Like there's.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a business too. Like, if your goal is to only make money, there's probably easier ways. The reason you would want to make money off this is because you also really love it.
Yes.
Right. I mean,
yeah. You just sell your property and your land, and you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Richard
was awesome. Like, we're there for the kid's birthday party, but I think that week too, I just had like an exceptional run of bad customer service or something. I don't know if you experienced this because you're like, I just go home into the skating rink. Like, I don't know if you're seeing it, but I mean, everything now, it feels like people caring about their jobs is going away. And it's like, look, I know, working whatever service industry job isn't your dream job. But like when I waited tables, it's like, that wasn't my dream job. But we all loved working when we were waiting tables. Like, we had a good time with our coworkers. It's like, this is what we're doing right now, and this is fun, and like, let's make the best of it. And it feels like a lot of that attitude is gone. And I know there's like a lot of various reasons why, people have their excuses. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's like I think people forget, like, if you're working a job even one that you don't love, but it's paying your bills, right? It's serving its purpose. You're a part of that community. And it's like, do you want your community to just to suck and be like frustrated everywhere you go and all that?
Yeah.
And it's hard to express that to like a younger person who's like, well, I don't love working at Chipotle. And it's like, I know, like nobody does, but it's also, you can have a bad day or a good day. What day do you want to have, you know?
Yeah.
And I just had like a run of that week where I was like, nobody cares about what they're doing. Everything's expensive. $1, like you're not getting any money's worth anywhere you go. And then, you know, now I'm seeing this guy, Richard. I'm seeing your mom up front who's like, oh, come on in, have a good time, you know? And that guy, Richard, skating around, like that dude could easily just phone it in and like sit in the booth and be like, okay, another song, let's go. Like, you know, you could have a bad time, but he's selling it for not only the kids party we're at, but for the adults that are here too. Cause you know, it's like, that's stressful when you're bringing, these kids are like 4, 5, 6 years old. So the skating's not great yet. So it's already stressful about like, are they about to have a terrible time? Are they gonna be crying, screaming? And part of that attitude that he's bringing in there, it's like the kids feed off that, I think, and now they're having a good time. And so now all the parents can like take a little breath. He's
acting a little bit like an idiot, a little bit of a fool,
the right amount.
Yes.
The right amount. And so the kids feed off that. Then the parents have like a sigh of relief that we're not worried about our kids crying for an hour, not wanting to be here. You know, I mean, like, it's just like, thank you. Somebody finally like cares about what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm very lucky. So me and Richard, like I said, like I think I had the best childhood, and that's my focus. Is like I want kids to get that fun, like a magic experience. You know, like you're in a skating rink, and then Richard. So I mentioned he was a clown. So from what I hear, I wasn't alive yet, but my dad tells me that Richard was like, he started working there at 13, but he was very shy. Like he was a shy kid. He would sit in the corner and he wouldn't talk. You can't imagine this, right? From singing. And my dad was like, well, one day I needed a clown. And so I was like, Richard, you know, let's put some makeup on. I need a clown. You need to be a clown. Yeah. And so basically, Richard, he got a new persona, right? Like he was very shy, but when he was the clown, he was performing and he was stupid and he did, you know, they had little routines and did stupid crap. And my dad has sat me down. We've been like at Christmas, and he goes, Richard became Bingo the Clown. Like, and I'm like, he must have, because the Richard I know will not shut up. Like when we're cleaning up, he's singing like, what does he sing? Christmas. He's also like Santa during. He looks like Santa, but he's singing like Christmas carols while he's mopping, and I'm like, shut up, Richard. But like, you know, it's great. Yeah, it's good. But yeah, I mean, he became Bingo the Clown. So I think that inside, he was very shy, and he likes who he became with Bingo the Clown. So like he associates that with the rink, and the rink made him who he is today, you know. And I think that's maybe the thing with him. You know, he adores the rink just like I do, and he wants it for the kids. Like a lot of people want to do adult nights and do adult parties, which I do too, because I'm an adult and I have fun. But like I want to make fun I want to make sure it's fun for the kids, because that's like my, you know,
thing. Well, you got to have all of it, right? Because eventually those kids are going to be adults anyway, and they're going to come back and do the adult part. It's like you got to constantly, and just again, having those things in the community that are just fun. It's like, I feel like you said you're 39. We grew up, I feel like, in one of the best times to be a kid, right? I know like the people who grew up in the 80s feel that way, but we had like that perfect mix of all the old childhood experience where you're playing with no phones outside, running around. Well, I don't know what yours was like in Mesquite, but we were like riding bicycles everywhere. Your parents didn't know where you were a lot of the times. And then we also had like video games, cell phones. It's like we've experienced both worlds. Yeah. And I think we're going to be the only generation to ever do that, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, I can't remember. It probably wasn't y'all's rink. It was probably somewhere else. Probably over in like Garland or Rowlett or something. But they used to do like those overnight lock-ins and all that kind of. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like those like core childhood memories of things that are simple, easy. It's like, what are you going to do? We're going to go to the skating rink and just skate around. It's like, we don't need a subscription. We don't need like to Bluetooth to anything. And it's like, we're going to get the skates that are there and just go. Like simple fun, you know? And I don't know. You just got to have that. With my kid now, he's 6. And it's like there's more to do than there's ever been to do before. But also it's all kind of tainted because it's like, corporations running everything, and it's all just kind of lame. It's different. So I get what Richard's on about, like having the kid space too. You know, I can see that. But the The skate culture is something that like fascinates me with adults. Like, I don't know anything about like, do y'all have like the groups that come and skate? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't even know what you call them. You know, you see these great like videos on social media where it's like a group, you know, like 4, 5, 6 people skating like in unison around doing like dance moves and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
So there's a thing, yes. So
what is that called?
I don't know. There's many things that could fall into that category.
Okay.
But, I mean, you're talking about like adults. And
Adults, yeah.
Okay.
Where we're dressing up. We got like expensive skates and we're trying to be like as smooth as we can going around here with these dance moves.
Well,
and
there's
stuff.
lots of like adult, I mean.
It's almost like it's like
there's
a gang of skaters, like a crew or something.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
So there's a thing in Dallas. This is really unique to Dallas and it's cool. It's called social skate. Okay, and it started in like I think the 80s. So in the summertime, roller rinks don't do very well because there's like water parks and all this other stuff that you can do. So everyone knows like in the summer you better save your money from the winter because you're not going to make very much money in the summertime. Well, in the 80s, and Dallas has like there's still quite a few, but I mean Dallas had like 10, 12 roller rinks in DFW, which is insane. Like most states have like one.
Okay.
And they're dying.
Oh, so we were really spoiled then.
Yes.
Wow.
But so in the 80s, all the roller rink owners around Dallas got together and they were like, hey, since summer sucks all the time, let's come up with something so it's every Monday night, like we'll go to a different rink. And so all of our business, all of our regulars for 10 rinks will come to your rink and you'll get all the money. Oh. And then the next week we'll go to your rink and you'll get all the money. And I think that's so cool because they created this. It's called Social Skate. It still happens every summer. It's going to start like May 25th. It always starts on Memorial Day. But ours is June 22nd, I think.
How do all the regulars know which one you're going to?
Because we make a schedule and they just released it. And so you know, like this Monday's this Monday's this. And like at our rink, sometimes we'll meet up before and we'll say, hey, if you can't drive, like everyone meet up here and we'll drive everybody, which I'm sure is not safe and like okay, but we know all the kids, you know.
Yeah.
And so we'll just drive all to the rink and then they have these competitions, like jam skating competitions, and they'll have the like the jam skating where it's I don't want to say break dancing, but that's best I can say that. But they'll also have shuffles and like where there's like two people. They're doing the same moves but going around the floor.
Yes.
Maybe, you know. Like,
I think that's more the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the categories of it. And we have competition. You have to compete every week. And then at the very end, there's a grand finals big deal. And they in the 90s, like we used to dress up to do it. But now it's you bring your own music and all that stuff. But people
bring your own music.
People don't dress up. It's like a performance.
Yeah.
They used to get all like crazy in costumes, but they don't do that so much anymore. But it's really cool, and it's like the best skaters in DFW. You know, like they all show up because they want to compete and they want to get first place, but then everyone else shows up to watch because this last generation used to do it, and now they want to see the new one, and it's really cool.
Yeah, like a passing of the torch, essentially. Yeah, what y'all need then for these Mondays is you need a bus. You need a bus where y'all can just decorate it all crazy so it looks like the skate bus or whatever. And when you're doing that group, when you're going to each rink, how many people do you think are there?
Last year we don't charge for people who aren't skating, like, you know, chaperones or parents, but we had 236 paid skaters on the floor, and that's like in the 90s, it was like 500, 600. I mean, it's coming back.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, you know, like it being crowded. Like you were almost waiting for some people to get off the floor before you could get back on there. Yeah. I don't know. I do think it's one of those industries I didn't know that it like took a dip, but it feels like one that's going to come back strong. Because again, I think like the simple fun is just people are wanting.
It dips and comes back. It's I feel like it's like after the 70s and 80s, it was kind of, I guess, a dip. And then rollerblades in 92, I think, or something like, brought it back. And then I guess, I don't know, there was a little bit and there was a dip. And then roller derby brought it back in 2001. And I don't know. I always, like, whenever I see commercials that have roller skates in them, or like I video them and send them to my dad, I'm like, see, look, it's coming back. You know, it's cool to see. I think people are going back to the quads too, right? It's like rollerblades had their day, but now people want skates. Yeah. It's split, but yeah. I'm over here by White Rock. The amount of times I saw a dude out there one day. So I was riding a bicycle around the lake, right? And
it was like one of the road bikes. Like, I don't know how much you have been around the lake, but it's like there's a lot of people who take it way too seriously. I'm not one of those people. I'm doing it for exercise, okay? But it's a road bike. Like, I'm trying to keep up, a pace and stuff. And there's this dude out there. He's on quads, shirtless. He's got some headphones on. And first of all, he's ripped. So I'm automatically I'm jealous. I'm like, this motherfucker. But he cuts off the trail like onto the street. And I'm thinking like, what is he doing out here skating on the street? Because on a bicycle, I'm trying to keep like a 15, maybe a 20 mile per hour pace if I'm feeling good or something, but usually probably like 15. And this guy's pulling away from me. And what was more insulting is he wasn't even trying. He's like dancing and swinging his arms, just having a great time, and he's just flying around the lake. And I keep seeing people like that, not necessarily on the street, but all of a sudden that skate stuff's coming back out more and more.
Yeah,
where people are just wanting to do it even for exercise.
During COVID, it exploded.
That makes sense.
Because everyone realized you could buy a pair of skates and then go outside and skate by yourself. And so like my business on Etsy exploded because everyone was like, oh, I want to buy accessories for my new thing that, and they're all bored at home. So like during COVID, I was slammed with work.
Because they're all ready to customize. That's what your business is. You're customizing skates, right?
Yeah. My dad always says it's everything you don't need on your skates, but you want.
Yeah.
But
because it's your personality. You want to make it yours, right?
Yeah. And I skated for a company, and they had all these cute like colored skates, but all of the accessories, like the protection that you could put on them so you don't scuff your toes or whatever, it was all black leather. Like black leather is all you could get. And I was like, well, this is stupid. I have these like fuchsia suede skates. I don't want to put black leather. And so I started making things in colors, and that's basically what it was. But yeah, the COVID generation, it's like now they're starting to bring their skates into the rinks, and like some people got really good over COVID, and so then those people want to. So it kind of made a new wave.
Yeah,
weirdly, but
yeah, I could see that. But that's good, right?
Yeah, that's very
great.
good.
That's great for y'all, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think it takes to get the rinks where they're packed with like 400 or 500 people again, like you were saying? Like the glory days that you were talking about.
I don't even know. I don't know.
I mean, as an owner, do you think about, do you get stressed thinking about like marketing and all the stuff you're supposed to do with a business, or do you just think we're going to roll with the punches?
I really like the marketing part, but sadly, like since I've taken over, like I just feel like I'm trying to like keep my head above water. Like I've so many,
you mean like with the physical building or what?
Yeah, I mean, like I had to bring it up to code. Like everything had to be brought up to code. And I had to do all this stuff for the fire marshal, and then for the building inspection, you have to get your certificate of occupancy. So I had to do all this stuff, and it was. Why
did you have to do all that and not the previous owners?
Because I'm the new. It's not even
like
a
how
new
did they
owner.
get a pass?
Because they didn't, but I guess they took over in like 2003 or whatever, and so they don't come in that often to check or like whatever. But if you've been, it was when it's a change of ownership or a change of, it wasn't ownership, but whoever's running it.
So now they're coming in to check it out, and you just drew the short straw, and you get to do all the stuff. Yeah,
it was awful.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm sure the code in 1961 is very different.
Well, the guy took over in 03, but
still, that's still 20.
It's what they
20 years.
Yeah, what they decide. Like you need to do. They can decide. And
yeah, when you're dealing with the city for those types of things, I mean, do you feel like I'm trying to ask it in a way that doesn't sound bad to the city, because I don't mean it that way, but I mean, do they view that as like we're here to help you out, we want to make this easy?
It depends on the person.
Yeah, because
most of them are understand, like this is a mom and pop thing, and like we're not trying to make it, they understand we don't have all this money.
This is an asset to your city and your community, so I would hope as a city you're like, we want to make sure this never goes away.
Most of them were really awesome. There was like one sector that was just kind of a pain and whatever, and maybe
we won't mention them because we don't want them to come down hard on you later.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just trying to do their job and prove like, hey, I'm going by the book, and nothing wrong with that. Like I'm a rule follower. I get it.
None of us want the building to burn down, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's some awesome. There's a particular awesome girl that's on like the city council right now, and she grew up skating there, and so I've been talking to her, and she's really on board with like trying to help out and just try to. You know what
I've noticed so far since you've been talking is all of these people who are like, like Richard was there when he was 13. The city council person was there as a kid. It's, that's kind of your magic that you got to find with that place. I think you got to find all the people who've been there. Like, that's what put me in touch with you. It was like, oh my God, we were here a long time ago,
Yeah, it's funny.
I think that's your strategy. You got to figure out how to remind people who, like me, who were there, that it's like, it's still here. Come check it out, essentially.
Yeah. And most people, if someone has lived in Mesquite, most likely they've been there. Like, it's kind of crazy. But this year is our 65th anniversary.
My gosh, 65 years.
So I'm planning.
Your building's old enough to retire.
I know, right? But we're gonna do a big thing in October because it's October. But so right now, like,
do you know which date in October you're gonna do it?
I think the 17th.
Okay.
So the 14th is the actual day, but the 17th is a Saturday. So I think it's gonna be like Saturday night. But I recently posted a thing about like calling everyone who's ever skated there. I want to hear your memories. I'm collecting all these memories, so I'm gonna compile them all for just because there's these crazy things that. Anyway, so I have an email, like Broadway posted it. You can find it, but I created a Broadway Skateland Broadway Skateland history email.
Yeah.
At Gmail, and so I don't know. I enjoy, like, that's what I enjoy most. Is like all these old ladies will come in and be like, "Oh my God, I met my husband here and we did this," and it's like that.
Yeah. I was just about to say that the amount of people who have probably met their spouse since the 60s to now, who like literally like we were skating. I thought they were cool, or I thought they were hot, or whatever, and I went and talked to them, and now we're married.
Workers whenever I was growing up, his name is Hobie. That's his nickname, but he's like my brother. He and his girlfriend, got married, and now they have 2-3 kids. But yeah, it's cool. It's
That's that's pretty well. Have you gotten any responses yet about the
I don't know. I
memories?
posted like 2 or 3 days ago, so I haven't checked the email yet.
Yeah, that would be incredible to think. Because how many nights a week was it probably open most of the time? Is it usually like a Thursday through Sunday kind of thing?
Mostly it's that.
Okay, but just think about 4 days a week for 60 years. Yeah, 65 years. Like all the different I met this person, I broke up with this person, I broke my arm. Like all the wild stuff that could come up.
Yeah, so my dad's a musician, and so back in early 60s, I guess, they had Battle of the Bands, and he got really excited. This is not going to happen. But he was like, there's all these famous people, that used to play there. We should try to, contact them. I'm like, that's not going to happen. But it is cool. Like,
you say it might not happen. It might.
So Steve Miller, he played there.
That's a Texas guy too.
Right. Because he went to St. Mark's. And so they were called the Marksmen. And that was his band. And then like Stevie Ray Vaughan, he didn't play there, but his brother's band, his older brother. And my dad says that Stevie Ray Vaughan used to get on the stage and they'd be like, "Get off, hey, we're trying to do something." And they would like shove him off. And then ZZ Top, Dusty's original band was called like Wanda and the Warlocks because they had a woman singer and they played there. And then Don Henley was apparently in a band. And one night they showed up and they're like, "Yeah, our singer went off to California to try to get famous, so we don't." That was Don Henley.
Yeah,
that's just really cool.
All the moments. Yeah, so that was a battle of the bands that happened at y'all's.
Well, they had a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
again, it's like the things you need in your town for like this little ecosystem of just fun, interesting stuff. It's like, I think that's what bugs me about how many things we have now that are not mom and pop. It's like, yeah, I know you want to like support local and all that, but it's not even about, for me, it's not even about just making sure like the dollar's going into a pocket like that. It's more of like the intention behind it. It's like, when some business buys up this mom and pop restaurant and adds it to their portfolio and blah, 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 blah. It's just all boring and lame. There's no fun and excitement behind it anymore. Yeah. And like your town just gets a little grayer and sadder, right? And you need those like you're not going to hear stories about ZZ Top at I don't know what's somebody I want to pick on. It's like they're never coming to Taco Bell. Right? Their old band never played a Battle of the Bands at Taco Bell. And I like Taco Bell, but that kind of stuff, and just everything. It's like everything you own now that's a product is like, yeah, it's part of this company, but it's actually owned by this other bigger company who might be owned by an even bigger company. And you're like, when does the madness of this end? Can we just open a business and run it for the purity of the business? Because those moments, that's what happens when you do that. Don Henley was at your skating rink. Yeah. That's cool, right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I think you should just go on a grassroots campaign, reaching out to as many of these people that you have heard have been there and see if they have that memory. You never know who's going to get a wild hair, and he's like, you know what? I ain't got shit going on in October. I think I'm going to swing in and blow their mind.
I used to go to Jimmy Buffett every when he had a thing in Arlington or something, and the concert every year. But one year ZZ Top opened up, and we had like floor seats, my mom, and I was gonna bring a big poster board that said like, Wanda and the Warlocks come back to Broadway Skateland. But I got nervous. I didn't do it. And I was like, that's too much to put on a thing.
I have a hard time thinking you would get nervous to do something like that, though. You seem like you're the type of person to just go for it. But like, think about it. Think about their age now. They've already made their money. They don't have to do anything they don't want to do, which means they're more likely to go, I don't know, that sounds like fun.
So Dusty Hill's dead now, right?
Yeah, but the band, the other two guys are there.
Maybe. But I think I don't know. I know it was him.
Yeah.
And then Stevie Ray Vaughan's dead. Steve Miller, I actually dated Steve Miller's like nephew.
All right, so we've got an in.
It might be weird.
We've got an in.
Now he's like married to one of my friends from high school.
Listen, it's about skating. Listen, I grew up in a small town. I know how those relationships get weird. All right. But no, it's about the skating thing. She'll understand. All right.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, I know.
But it would be cool. Like you think, I don't know where their mindset is, but like, yeah, where you played when you were like 17 with your stupid band that wasn't very good,
I just saw a video today of Conan O'Brien and Slash knocking on people's doors that were selling guitars like on Craigslist. And they were just having fun for the show. They were just like, yeah, we heard you had a guitar for sale. And they're like, hey, Slash, and he's like playing on the guitar and they're like, we take like $450, or whatever. And so it's like, you never know when one of these people might just want to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go for it. Why not? Why not? 65 years. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Speaking of that long, does it kind of blow your mind to think that there's a good chance you're going to see this rink hit 100 years?
Me?
Why not?
I won't be dead by then?
You don't think so?
That'd be awesome. That'd be cool.
You'll be 79, right? That'd be 105.
I'm not going to do the math.
Yeah. All you got to do is make it like 35 years. 35 years. You're going to make that.
Yeah.
That's wild. 100 years. Is that right? Am I doing that math right?
Well, it'd be
61. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
That's not. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's not.
40, yeah,
that's not that far away. Like your
That'd
rink's
cool.
going to hit 100 years most likely, and it's going to start with this fun 65-year party. But
yeah, I've actually started looking up like I want to make a list of like Broadway Skateland is older than, and I've looked up like Walmart and all these crazy like Specs.
Yeah,
Specs is like 62, and then in looking that up, this is so interesting to me. So I was thinking like, my grandfather's going to open it in October of 61. You know what else opened in August of 61? Six Flags. I'm like, what is, of all the things, that is the worst thing they could possibly, like 2 months before. And then I went down a rabbit hole about, like before Six Flags, it was more like carnival stuff where you paid for each ride. Six Flags was one of the first where you paid to get in, you could ride all the rides. And, it was a big deal. And I was like, oh my God, he must have hated Six Flags.
He's probably thinking like, I made a horrible decision. I've dumped all my money into this.
Yeah, and like right down the road. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And back then, like everything wouldn't have been, there weren't as many people in all the different cities. So you were more willing to drive to these places and skip over something that's in your, yeah. Oh my gosh! Did you ever ask him about that?
I never met him.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah. What a wild story. I mean that still blows my mind too. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to build this. I'm just going to do it.
I know.
Like, could you imagine doing something like that right now? I mean, I know you took it over, which is very similar, but to just be like, I mean, because the equivalent would be us going up. Like, what's an empty area where we could buy some land and build something? And the thought of like starting a business in one of those areas where you need people to come to it all the time. That seems pretty crazy. Did you ever hear what the pricing was back then to get in?
Oh, yes. It was like 75 cents or something.
75 cents.
I have the original. Apparently my grandfather was very artistic, and so am I. But I have the original, like, there's a big board that he painted for like summer hours, Monday night, and he hand painted this whole thing, and it's like with rink skates, 80 cents, Yeah. With your own skates, 60 cents, and I have it in my house right now.
When you get time, you need to get a copy of that made and like put it up in the rink somewhere as just like a little history thing to go by. What about the mural on the back? How old is that?
That's original.
From 61?
From 61, except when
Did they just paint it, like touch it up every now and then?
when my dad took over, he updated it. So like there's a couple things on there that's like a Pac-Man machine. Like clearly that wasn't there because that didn't exist. But he updated it, and I think whoever he got to do it scammed him, because I feel like half of it is not finished. Because I have
What do you mean it's not finished?
I have a studio art like minor from TCU. Like that was my, but like you can just they mapped out some stuff to paint and then never. It's not finished.
Like you can see the outline or something? What are you talking about?
They were painting over something and then they didn't finish it. I don't know. They just kind of like did the outline, and to me, I can tell, and I plan on I want to do some updates just because it's like tradition. But
well, yeah, put your mark on it, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I mean, I'm amazed that that's the original one, though. I would
Oh yeah,
think about how many people might have wanted the people leasing it might have thought like, I'll paint this over or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like how that could have happened.
When I don't know if I'll say this.
Don't make me edit anything out, but say what you want.
Some of the people thought at the end like they could have everyone sign it, and which really, as an art person, I was just like, oh my god. Some people like put their names on something, and then I tried to scrub it off, and the canvas is so old it just started like deteriorating, and I was like, well, I'm just going to paint over it so that hey, but I'm gonna make it happy, and I'm gonna like. I'm gonna paint over it, and it'll be fun, and I'll make it new. So whatever. But
yeah. Well, why not just sign like the brick wall or something instead?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's pictures from. So actually, my aunt, the reason that they built it, she ended up I think it was the night they opened or maybe a year in. The guy they had an anniversary thing, and they had a program. And the guy, they said, this person's behind the snack bar, and this person's behind the skate counter, and the guy behind the skate counter is my uncle. Like my aunt married him, and it's cool. But there's pictures of him because he art skated and she art skated, and it's this whole 60, 62 or something. All these black and white. It's a really cool picture, but it's in front of that thing. And it's just like it's really cool because everyone takes pictures in front of that, and it's been there.
You said art skated?
Artistic, like figure skating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it figure skating on roller skates?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I've never thought about that. I always think figure skating is ice only.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, but I mean, that makes sense. In Texas, there wouldn't have been an ice skating rink.
No. Yeah, all those loops that are on the floor, those are for...
Well, I figure that's what it's for, but, it's like, I'm stupid. I don't connect some of the dots, What's your style of skating? What do you like to do?
I've done everything except that weaving in between the cones. Have you seen this people?
Yeah, like the fast ones.
I have not done that. Everything else, I think I've done. Like,
what do you like doing though?
I don't know.
All of it?
I don't want to call it jam skating because I'm not doing like break dancing, but all the dance skating type stuff. Like I grew up at that social skate thing, and I was like 13 years old, winning all the trophies, and so like that's fun to do.
Yeah, I saw your funny picture of your skates on fire that you put up this week. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was at the grand finals one year.
So explain to people what this picture is, though.
So,
because you're in like a
sitting in like a director's chair, one of those tall, like right, but sitting like sideways with your legs propped up on the side, right, and then so my dad's college roommate, my dad's Lana Blocker, his roommate was Ronnie Barker. And they were like. Anyway, he's a photographer, and so back, I think that was 98, I think, we had the big grand finals thing, and so we had to have something cool, and so I don't know, this is not okay with the fire marshal, I can guarantee you, but in the back, photographer man was back there, and he would have someone wrap your wheels with masking tape, and then go 1, 2, 3, set it on fire, he'd take the picture, and then someone would do the fire extinguisher and like blow it all out, but he took the picture, and so there's a picture of me, and I'm
and your skates are
like
on
fifth
fire.
Grade or something. I have a Tommy Hilfiger shirt on, and and your skates are on fire, and your wheels are on fire.
You looked really happy in the picture, though.
You
looked like this was the
cool.
coolest picture I've ever taken. I didn't think about that, but yeah, they had to hit you with a fire extinguisher when it was done.
I mean, you have to have so many in the rink anyway, so might as well use them.
Oh my God, man! What a group of characters! Like your dad and these people. I mean, he sounds like he's a little wild in a fun way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you? What are some of the memories you think about with him at that rink that really stand out to you?
I have one. I wasn't alive, but I have this one that I wish I was. It's really so. He has this story. There was a record store down the street from the rink, and he, back then, I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but I have the whole record collection.
Oh, no, I didn't see that part. That's
so
cool.
I have, because you used to have to buy every record. Like, there was no service that sent you the music.
Mm-hmm.
So he would just buy every record, or they'd have like pools where you could go and trade and whatever. Anyway, when Night Fever came out, the song, Night Fever, he bought it, and then I guess someone gave him.
What? Wait, do you mean Night Fever, like Saturday Night Fever?
No, just the
What's
song,
not-
like Night Fever.
Oh,
Night Fever.
okay, yeah.
I'm glad that's going to be on here. That was fantastic, right? But he had 2 versions of that, and there were 2 turntables, and
Yeah.
So he was bored, I don't know, and so when he would play that song, he would play it on both turntables and go like Night Fever, and then switch it to Night Fever, and he kind of made a real remix almost.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he says that the guy that owned the record store down the street came into the rink one day in person and said, I need to talk to the owner. And he said, I'm the owner. And he said, whatever version you're playing, you need to stop whatever you're doing, because everyone is returning this record. And they go, I want the version they're playing at Broadway Skateland. And it didn't exist because it was my dad being bored. And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Little DJ mashup there. Man, what a fun dude. Playing in a band, owning a skating rink, remixing vinyl records.
Oh, there's actually a good story to
Mm-hmm.
it. So if you've ever been to a roller rink, when they do the hokey pokey,
Yeah.
it always says you put your right skate in, you put your right skate, if anyone's noticed. So my dad recorded that. That was my dad plays bass on it.
Uh-huh.
And it was another guy named Mike Stanglin. If you look on YouTube, there's some guy like researched it, but it was my dad and some of his friends. They went into recording studio and recorded that.
No way.
Back in the day. Yeah.
That's the skate hokey pokey?
The
That's
skate
your dad?
hokey pokey. It's yes. And there yes. And it goes like right arm, and there's like this weird
Yeah.
Well, it's long story, but it was a guy that used to do 7-Eleven commercials back in the 70s, and he has this weird voice, and like that was it. But apparently my dad originally tried to do like the right arm, but he's very like country. He's a very Texan sounding man, and they were like, it sounded so hillbilly, like they could not use this, and so they got this other dude. But yeah, my dad recorded that with his friends.
I didn't realize they were using the same song. Like, it sounds like it went like around the country, or what?
Well, yeah. So and then there's a convention. It's called RSA now, but it's there's a convention every year, and all the rink owners come together, and the guy that actually spent the studio time and whatever produced it, brought it and sold it to everyone in like the, I don't know, 70-something, late 70s.
Holy cow.
And so everyone bought it because, and there's a YouTube video, and he was like, I think a record would sell for, like 98 cents. And I sold that for $5 because you couldn't get it anywhere. But like every rink has it.
Yeah.
Every rink has it. Like, yeah, it's just really cool. They did it in Dallas.
Weird stuff, right? Like you don't think about that stuff going into it. I never, because when you were talking about that song, I was thinking like, oh God, yeah. Now like the memories are flooding back, but it never dawned on me that was the same song at these different places until just now.
There's only one with skates. Your right skate. You put your right skate.
Yeah,
in.
because I mean, did he do like a copyright or anything on that? Like, are people still selling that or?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if they made it, there's probably it's time for you to like record an updated version or something. Like put your mark on it.
I don't want to take it away from that.
No, we're just gonna have a second version also, just a newer one. Wow, yeah. So when you're playing that, like he said, he made that as a record.
Yeah, it was yeah.
Yeah. Do you have that record still? In your collection?
I don't know. Okay, because I have all the LP, like, like, and then I have also. No one thinks like there was a whole generation of 45s before that. So I have all. I mean,
is it like a whole room?
45. Yeah, and I want to like start some Instagram account that's like a record a day or like something because I want to listen to all of them before I die. Like I think it would take my whole life.
You should do it.
There's so many, but I don't. Certainly, that's somewhere. Like
yeah, but everybody's collection's a little different, right? And then the
I mean, because everything went to CDs, and my dad thinks. He doesn't think all the records are cool. It was just like a waste of space, like, I have to take care of all these records. So he thinks like things on like an MP3 that you can just put a stick. He thinks that's cool. And I'm like, no, I think all the vinyl's cool, and so that's why I got it all. One
of my in-laws said that, she's, I think she's 80 now or something. But anyhow, we were talking to her about, vintage whatever. And she's like, all the younger people want all old stuff. And all of us, all we ever wanted was new stuff. And it was like that same kind of thing. They're like, I don't know why y'all want this old junk, essentially. But the records, I mean, yeah, you could do that because little things too, like just the way your records, like the artwork has worn compared to whoever else. Like it's all a little different. It's all interesting.
Yeah.
And then just the story of your dad and the collection and all. I mean, I would do it. What do you got to lose?
Yeah. What's really cool is on the 45s, my dad had like some like sticker code, and it was like if there's a red sticker on it, that meant it was like a fast song that was a top 10 song or something, and there was a black one, it was like a couple skate, but I don't know what all the stickers mean, so I'm trying to figure out. But also my dad was so into music, like you'll flip through and it'll say on the top of, they're all in the little yellow thingies, and it'll be like 1961 number 2 for 7 weeks. Like he wrote this song was number 2 for 7 weeks in 1960.
Holy cow.
And it's like, this is trivia that no one had. Like, it's so cool. And
So-
I think it's so cool to look at, and find.
Well, I misunderstood you too. So like, I know it's his personal record collection, but I'm also like, it keeps going over my head that you were having to take records to the rink, right? And so I'm thinking like, does he just show up with a case of records for the night? Like, does he have to decide what he's going to bring?
So the DJ booth it's still lined with shelves.
Yeah.
And it was just records.
But still, there's only so, like now, we're so spoiled. Like you can, any digital song you want, essentially, right? But at some point, that's running out of space up there. So like, you have to really think about like, is somebody ever going to request this before I pull it out and get it out of the rotation?
And they had to know where it was. I mean, yes, it's in alphabetical order, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, it was CDs, but like still, we had CDs everywhere, and like I DJ'd, and like I knew like, oh, I know where like Bye 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 by NSYNC, it's over here, and like I pull it out. But no, there were, I think there were 3 sets of alphabets that when my dad had all these records like in this rent house that wasn't being rented out, and they didn't melt because they were so packed like tightly. So thankfully, but like there was a whole alphabet of 45s, and then there was another alphabet of like 45 / LPs or whatever, and then there was a newer alphabet of like 80s 90s that was like it was just like you went through 3 different alphabet, so like the first alphabet had to be take those away because those are old, except there was always like a treasure chest of like, oh, it was like, I think it was like Chuck Berry and Beatles and all the really ones, like you're going to keep playing these, and those would stay, but then the whole alphabet would go, and you populated a new alphabet worth of records. Like, it's really cool.
That's a lot.
I think it's cool.
It is. It's a lot to think about too, because like, you're thinking about curating this environment for that weekend or however long, and like, I mean, what if you pull it out and they're like, hey, can you play that? It's like, actually, we just pulled it out. We don't have it anymore.
Yeah,
what? And now like you might actually make somebody angry that you can't hit the request anymore. What do you think is one of the most requested songs?
Now?
Anytime. What do you think has been played the most ever in a skating rink? You ever thought about that?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, of all time.
Sure. There's got to be a classic that just keeps getting played.
Probably something Michael Jackson.
Yeah, probably. You know what I remember? Do you remember when that movie Mortal Kombat came out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that like it was like almost like a techno, like Mortal Kombat or something. I remember being a kid requesting that song every time I went to the skating rink. And now as an adult, I'm like, I bet everybody else hated that song whenever they played it. It was just for a couple of us,
Yeah.
Because we would request it and then it wouldn't come on for like a really long time.
Oh, my dad, I keep hitting this.
That's okay.
My dad, he had a thing, he would go, it's on the list.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that meant, shut up, go away.
Yeah.
Like, maybe I'll play it.
Yeah. Man, that's, well, how do you, I guess you don't have to think about curating anything now. You have access to everything, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so you can play any song anytime.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you can spell it.
If you can spell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine if y'all don't sell alcohol, right?
No.
Yeah, could you imagine like the slurred, like play this?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Do rinks typically not sell alcohol? That seems probably like a bad mix, right?
It
Skating
is a bad
and drinking.
Mix, yes. Recently, so it used to be where the TABC, I mean, at least in Texas, like you couldn't do it. Those two can't combine. Recently, it got
just because it's a risky activity if you're drunk, I guess.
Yeah. In Europe, they do it. They'll make you like after if you have had like a drink or two, you have to take your skates off and you can't have any more or whatever.
Really?
But, yeah. But recently it's gotten to, you can buy a certain insurance and you can do it now. Like we have a friend, her name is Gypsy, and she has a rink in Waco.
Of course her name's Gypsy.
And she's recently like made the back of her rink a bar. I mean, and that's cool to me.
That seems like a lot.
For me, being me running the whole place, I mean, yes, I have help, but like, I have too much I can't deal with it right now. I would love, so I used to be married and I got married at the skating rink. And so for that night, you can buy like one night insurance where it's, X amount of money and it covers it, but not for every single night, but
Right. Yeah, well, and just the hassle of serving people and keeping track of all that, or like broken glass or something. Well, no thanks. But yeah, I didn't think about that. And you probably want to keep this. It's probably more profitable, I would think, long term to keep it family friendly. Yeah. Right, where you don't have to worry about people drinking, mixing with kids skating around. Yeah, that seems like that'd be a nightmare. What have you thought about what you want to do now that it's, this is your domain? Like you get to make all the shots. Like,
what do you mean? What I want to do?
Do you have a vision of things you want to do with this rink now? Like your long-term vision?
I just want to make it pretty again first, but I have a dream one day if I have the money and everything. So I skated in skate parks and stuff like that. I think it'd be really fun. They have like, if you know what a pump track is, it's it's just whoop-de-doos, right? Yeah. And I would love to make a thing so there's that big marquee at the back. Yes. I would love to make a thing where, at the back, like there's the back corner where the exit doors are, and like I would love to make a little gate where like, you'd have to have a special wristband to come do it. But I'd love to get one of those pump tracks that you can just connect together. They're expensive, but it's like not like you have to build it. You can just connect and just have it going across the entire back of the building. And I just think, and you could build a little wall in front so you wouldn't, if you fell off, you wouldn't hit a kid on the floor or whatever. Yeah. But like, I just think kids would think that was so cool to like, it's so fun. Yeah. Just and it wouldn't be huge. It would just be like a pump track, just go across. But like, oh my God, if I was a kid, I would be like, all right, let's do it again. Yeah. And
would you be able to like come right off the rink and skate onto it, or you'd have to like step off and get in there?
I think you'd have to, I think I'd make it to where you have to step off to where like, cause there's
that way you're not flying in at high speed.
Yeah. Cause there's in the back of every rink, there's like, a rink is round. Yeah. It's kind of like a pizza. The rink is round and the box is square, right?
So you got some dead space.
Extra room in the back. So I'm like, yeah, you can make like a little gate and, an entrance, and you could go off to the other side and.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I think that'd be so cool,
I talked to you later and you're like, it was the most broken arms we've ever had. I was surprised at how we had 0 injuries when we took the little kids there. Because there's probably not a name for them, but the little things that they're holding, the little trainers, which are it's a great idea and made everything so much more fun. But it's like you see
slam down.
Yeah, you see him slam down. And I was talking to Richard, and I was like, I'm just shocked that nobody's fingers got caught every time. It's like they just kind of knew, I guess, how to fall in a sense.
Well, there's they're put together. It's like a pipe, like PVC pipes almost. And so the connector ones are like a little bit bigger than the actual pipe. So I think maybe that accounts for their fingers. I don't know, but that's a good point.
I thought for sure
We've never had smashed fingers.
I was like, somebody's smashing a finger hard tonight. Nobody did. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Okay, I was wrong. And, but yeah, that, I don't know.
I'm not a fan of those, but you have to have them now.
My son, he got to where, that was his very first time skating ever. And he's real, like it's 50-50 if he's going to be excited about trying it or if he's going to be scared and get like whiny. And so, we started him off without it, where we were just like holding his hand, like, let's go. But we also hadn't skated in like, I don't know how long. So I'm still like, I'm trying to get my legs back of like, okay, I know how to do this, but I need to catch back up here. And he was having like terrible time with it. And he just like, it was the fear of falling that was getting him. Yeah. And we showed him a couple times, like we made him fall and we're like, look, that's the worst that's going to happen. Get up, let's go. And he just couldn't get over it. And then we threw him one of those and all of a sudden he loved it. And like, he's going slow, like he's not moving. He's just kind of moving his feet and we're like pushing him a little. But then by the end of the night, he's ditching that and he's doing it. So it's like, it didn't even take, I don't know, how long are the parties? 2 hours?
2 hours.
Yeah. It didn't even take 2 hours for him to pick it up after he had that little trainer for a minute. So I think they're good.
Yeah.
We're just from that era where
we had the rail, that. So if that wasn't there, it was like, well, we have the rail, so everyone just did that on the rail, But
he couldn't get past. He couldn't get past the legs splitting on the rail.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but that's like again, like our generation is like that was like a rite of passage. It's like, well, you're on the wall till you figure it out. You're gonna have to go. What age did they throw you out there? You were probably little, right?
My parents put skates on me to take a picture because it would be cute because they owned a roller rink, and I was 14 months old because my mom always 14 months, not a year and 2 months, but
Yeah,
you have to say
14.
14 months. But they put it was like the little strap on like Fisher Price ones, and then I skated like I skated before I walked. Like
Wow.
when they did that, I guess I was like, oh, fancy things, and I tried to walk and I walked and.
So you technically skated at 14 months.
Yes.
There you go.
In the office, there's a picture. Yeah.
It's in your blood. You were just destined for this. It really wasn't your choice at this point. It's just they've been. I mean, this is what you've done your whole life, right?
Yeah.
Whew. So you would have been, like middle school and high school. You were the girl who had the skating rink, right?
Yes. It's weird. Like I feel like. Middle school, yeah, but in high school, I feel like I had like two lives. It was like on the weekends I would go and live in Mesquite. It was like I had Mesquite friends, and I had, and then during the week, I don't know. It wasn't on purpose. It was just like. So
you weren't living in Mesquite when you were in high school?
No, I've never lived in Mesquite.
Oh, that's right. You said Rockwall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of I've always, and yeah, like my friends would come and stuff, but when I got older, people just didn't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you go to Rockwall High School?
Mm-hmm.
God, did you ever go to any of the like weird like field parties or house parties or anything back then, like in high school?
I'm sure I did, yeah.
Yeah, there's a really high probability we cross paths back then sometimes. Because we like I said, we were out. I went to a community high school. I don't know if you heard of that, but it's out in Nevada. But we were the ones where it's like, okay, we're gonna go find the spot in Wiley, the spot in Rowlett, the spot in Rockwall. There's a high probability we like cross paths.
That's
which
funny.
Is, weird to think about. Yeah. Yeah, so you said in middle school you were like the girl with the rink, but not so much in high school.
Yeah,
huh?
well, because like I remember elementary school and kind of middle school, I used to do like art skating, artistic skating, so figure and whatever. And I used to go to like regionals, and so at the talent shows, I would come do my little routine, and so people knew I was a skate person. I don't know, and then I kind of stopped doing that, and I don't know, I got kind of shy, and like I wouldn't, when you're little, like I'll go perform and this and that, and then I don't know.
Well, yeah, you go through like puberty and you get self-aware and you're like, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and it's weird because I feel like when I talk to people, everyone knew still because everyone kind of just grew up and we all knew each other from kindergarten or whatever. But like, I didn't really talk about it, so I kind of forgot that people knew that I owned a roller rink or that I skated, but everyone did, and just I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess if they just. Like it's always part of all their lives, right? Like everybody is like, yeah, she owns a rink, whatever.
Yeah, because we used to have like the PTA, parties there. And, so,
I mean, it's a weird, or not weird, but it's unique. Like you don't meet many people who are running something like this, right? Like even if you say like, oh, I'm a business owner, like it's not. Yeah. It's. I mean, do you feel like? Oh, I own a business. I run a business.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying though? Like it's a roller rink. It's just I don't know. Like that's like it's like I run a snow cone shop. You know what I mean?
It's fun, but I do all of the behind the scenes stuff too, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Like even like calculating like what am I going to pay for sales tax every month? And it's people don't realize you have to all the stuff you have to do.
Yeah, just to make it a little
lot.
fun.
And like replacing the plumbing and.
What do you think was the most unexpected thing that you were like? I didn't know we'd also have to be doing this. Or have you been around it so much?
I've been around it so long. I don't think there was anything unexpected. I guess I don't know, the sales tax thing. I guess I didn't really know about that.
You know what terrified me on your behalf was seeing the picture of you putting the letters up on the sign out front where you're on that big ass ladder.
That's not that bad.
How tall is that?
I don't know.
That's pretty big.
But I went and bought the biggest little giant ladder, like the one that can go, and if I put it all the way up, I can reach. So it's like it's not that bad.
It's a pretty big fall.
Oh well, I'm not gonna fall.
Yeah, because you got somebody down there holding it, one person.
No, it's just I'm not gonna fall.
You don't have anybody holding it?
No.
That's at least that's more than a 10-foot ladder, right?
Oh yeah.
Come on.
It's probably like 20, 18.
What happens? Okay, we were talking about records and stuff. Did you know about Good Records in East Dallas? Have you heard about that place?
A little bit, yeah.
So it's a place that's been there forever, and one of the main guys who ran it, he was just doing
right?
and he did it. He had a fall doing signage.
I did not know that's how he died.
I don't know if he was on a ladder. I'm assuming he was. But their building's much shorter than what your sign is. And yeah, I think he had a fall while he was doing the window art or a sign or something.
No, but
So,
you know what's funny?
you need to get a better system is all I'm saying. Or make sure it's
I
a very
love it.
still day.
Well, yeah. It's funny when I think his wife like posted a video of all, like a memoriam thing of him. And one of them, he was skating at the rink.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. But he's one of those, like, I don't know the guy. I only met him in the store. And it's not like, I don't even remember his name right now. I don't want to say the wrong name, but the amount of times he helped me pick out like a record or something where it's like, I don't know this guy, but I feel like I know this guy. It's like those types of businesses. That's what you're running now. Like how many people know you now as, as Lana that is up at the skating rink? I mean, you're probably up there every day, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people, yeah.
That's exciting.
That's funny, the Good Records guy. So I had the copy of Imagine by John Lennon. I'm a huge Beatles fan. And I had Imagine by John Lennon, but it was my dad's copy, but the poster, the poster where he's at the piano was gone because it was an old copy. And I was like, I really want the poster. So I bought myself a copy. And I lived in LA for a while. And my ex-husband took it or ripped it up or something because he was mad. So I still didn't have the poster. So one Christmas, my mom went to Good Records and was like, do you have a copy of Imagine? Well, he didn't have it just out, and he was so embarrassed that he didn't have that that he went and got his own copy and sold it to her, but it still didn't have the poster because
somebody already kept it.
Yeah, but,
yeah. I mean,
but he was I know he was a good dude because he did that. He cared.
But you're now the equivalent of that. You know what I mean? Like you're going to be that fixture of a business in Mesquite where you're going to touch all these people's lives when they come in there.
I hope so.
Do you think about that?
Yeah.
That's really cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You're not getting I worry that when people like you are running something, you're getting so wrapped up in the day to day and keeping your head above water that you don't get to enjoy holy crap, there was a couple hundred people here tonight, and this is my thing.
I get upset whenever I'm upset because I found the water hose had been running all night behind the kitchen because I'm paying all the water bills and they're so high, and it's like. And I've come up and I've been my mom's like, we have 103 or something. And I'm like, I hate right now that I'm not appreciating that. I will say that. I hate that. And I'm getting better. I'm trying. You got
to take time. Maybe you already do, but you got to take time to go you know what? I set an alarm and just go, for 10 minutes, I'm just going to lean up against the rail and just watch the joy that's happening in my building, the smiling faces and people just having a good night before I go back to worrying about the rest of this shit. You're going to have to force yourself to do that. Otherwise, you're probably going to hit a point where you're fucking sick of it. No,
that's what I was saying too. When the old ladies come in and tell me old stories about this and that, that I've told Richard if it wasn't for that, I don't know if I would have told my dad to just sell the building already. It's that hearing those people come in and say, this one lady a couple weeks ago was Richard was Bingo the Clown, and she said Bingo the Clown is how my parents knew to take my sister to speech therapy. And I'm like, what? And apparently Bingo the Clown was like, what do you want for Christmas? And she went, a hearse. And she meant a horse. And the fact that she said a hearse, her parents were like, something's wrong. And they realized she wanted a horse. And they were like, maybe she should go to speech therapy. And they that's a really cool story. That's how they knew. And she went to speech therapy or the rest,
just some random thing.
But that's really cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, at this point, you've done it. This has been 3 years, right? God, does it fly by, or does it feel like it's dragging on? I mean, it's a lot of work.
Sometimes it's drug, and sometimes it's yeah.
But 3 years, that's a big achievement already. So many people probably would have ducked out by now.
Oh no, it's my purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's a fun purpose. I got to find something like that. I mean, this I like doing this, but it's a different kind of thing. We just recorded another comedy special. I've done that for 2 people now and released those, and I think that's maybe the closest I get to that because it's it's my work, but it's not. It's their work. You're just kind of recording it and helping them release it, but you get to see them get when they see the first draft or something, and they're psyched because it's the first time they're. They've seen themselves on cameras because everybody has a phone, but not something that's a higher production like that, where you get to holy crap, this looks like a real thing. And it's you're like a real comic, So I get that. So, I mean, but I'd like something more than that where like I would love to have a venue of some kind, similar to your situation where, all right, like, 150 people came to watch this band tonight, but you just kind of get to like hang in the back and be like, man, look at all these people having fun just because we created this space, are you having those moments, or are you just always worrying?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
you said, I do.
On special occasions, like when yes, I have to, most of the time it's like dealing with a person and making sure this person's not mad because they weren't supposed to bring ice cream, but they did bring ice cream. So let me go de-escalate this. And then like, I'm the one that does all that. But like sometimes, like last year we had a Labubu week and I bought this like 8-foot tall inflatable Labubu costume, and I was the one who got in it. And I made this big curtain, and they would, cause the Labubu wouldn't fit through any of the exits. So like I had to be on the floor. And so I made this big like curtain thingy. And so they would have to reveal the curtain, and I would have gone in there and I blew myself up in it. And we'd do like the Cupid shuffle or the cha-cha slide as the 8-foot tall Labubu. And it was really fun. And like, that was like, I appreciate the things,
Yeah.
It's just.
That's good. You should. I mean, because most people, like you said, most people would have sold it. Just because, you see those dollars and you're like, well, we could just get rid of this. I mean, it's wild to think that we were so spoiled with skating rinks and then they're going away.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a Netflix thing called United Skates of America or something like that.
Oh, I
but
got to check that out.
It's about they're all dying. They're all, because no one understands. There's so much crap. You have to pay 4 different licensing companies just to play music. Like, I
didn't even think about that. To have the rights to play the music.
So much stuff in the back. And it's like, there's
how do they know? How do they even keep track of that?
I don't know, but
I mean, I know you don't want to test it. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it would be so tempting to go, like, screw paying that.
Well, so the RSA, which is like the trade show people, like that's a governing body, so they know where all the rinks are. And so my dad has a great story, and I don't know if he'll like it, but when he took over, and I guess when this all kind of started, where you had to pay licensing and this, no one really knew you had to do that. And he said that he was there one day mopping the floor in the 70s, I guess 80s, I don't know. And he said some guy walked in with like in a suit, and he said, are you the owner? You need to pay these licenses. Have you heard about this? And my dad said, no, what is that about? And he said, well, if you play a Willie Nelson song, Willie Nelson needs to get a cut because you're playing, he was trying to explain. And my dad, he's a very 6'4", like big, huge man. And he went, if Willie Nelson wants a piece of what I'm playing, he can get his ass in here and get his money himself, get out of my building. And then he got like a cease and desist and realized, oh, this was real. Like he thought the guy was scamming him. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he realized and learned, and now we pay them. But like, when that what would you think if someone walked in and told you that? Like,
yeah. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but may I ask, like, what is like a monthly cost of licensing fees for music?
So you do yearly.
Okay.
They're all, I don't even know, added up, but there's 4 different ones.
Do you have to track everything you play?
No.
Okay.
So there's 4 different ones, but like one of them, the worst one, I think it's BMI is the worst one. And you have to look at this chart, and it's like, how big of a square footage is your building, your skate area?
Yeah.
And then by like, what is your most expensive entry fee? And then you follow it over, and that's how much you have to pay.
So they're going off your most expensive entry fee?
Yes.
Why not the middle ground? Why not like,
I don't know. Because they're
because they can.
Yeah. And one year they tried to do, so there's an entry fee, and then there's like rental skate fee, rental fee. And one year they tried to say you had to pay your most expensive entry plus rental skate fee. And the RSA has a really good like law firm that only does like family entertainment stuff, and fought it, and they won. And they were like, yeah, no one pay this. You only have to. But
what does RSA stand for?
Roller Skating Association.
So, like, thank goodness they're doing that. I didn't think that I didn't think that you guys essentially needed representation like that, but that makes a ton of sense because people could take advantage of you to the point where they can just bleed you dry, and they don't care if you close because their artist got paid X amount of dollars, and I get 10% of that, and blah blah blah.
I think that's stupid anyway. Like, it doesn't. Well,
there's got to be a.
It doesn't matter if I have a huge venue. If I have 3 people coming in every week,
right.
I don't need to be paying for my area if I'm not making.
Yeah, what does the square footage matter?
Yeah. For me, for what you're playing.
Yeah, that seems like a hustle, right?
Yeah, it is.
And like I have a music background, like I've been in bands and stuff, so it's like I understand too. Like now more than ever, since people aren't buying CDs, they're buying records, but not like they used to. Everything's streaming, so bands are having a super hard time making money. But I think even a band would be like, you guys are going after the skating rink?
Yeah.
Like of all the things, it's like, yeah, go after like McDonald's if they want to play music in their restaurant or whatever. But that's weird. And to go after the highest price, I couldn't imagine going after the skate rental part. That's such a
right.
But music's crazy corrupted like that too. Like these bands will go play a big venue, like I don't want to say any names, but like think of a really big venue, not a mom and pop one, like a chain of venues or something. And these people are such vultures now, even with them, that they're like, yeah, if you're a band and you're selling your T-shirt as the venue, we want a 25% cut of that.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? Just because they're all trying to get every little nickel and dime they can. And I think it's more gross too, because it's like, look, it's music. This is an industry that's not supposed to be all about the money all the time, So it's like, yeah, I want them to make money because you're playing their songs, but that seems crazy to charge it that way. But what do you think is like I know, but if you don't want to say, you don't have to. What's like an annual cost of that?
So there's 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the BMI one was like 3,000 or something. And then there's ASCAP.
Yeah.
There's ASCAP BMI.
So we'll say each one is plus or minus that, essentially.
Yeah. And that's just...
So we're talking about around, $10,000.
Yeah.
Just for music.
Just to play the music. And people these are things that people don't realize. And then also like the city of Mesquite, no matter what your business is, you have to, if you have a snack bar, you have to have like a, what is it called? When you spray for bugs. Extermination.
Oh, yeah.
You have to do an exterminator thing. Even if, you don't have any bugs or any rats, like you have to do that to pass health inspection.
Sure.
And that costs like what, $100 a month, $150 a month. And it's just,
it all
which
adds
is not,
up.
it adds up. And it's like, I feel like the city doesn't realize like this part of the city is like, oh, we're gonna have to make them do this and this and this. But if they were to actually like total everything up, they'd be like, oh crap, like there's no way these people are ever gonna make money. Like, and people don't realize that.
See, and that's where I'm more of like a conspiracy person, where I think like, do some of these people put these rules in because they want to destroy the mom and pop places so they can let the bigger business come in because
No, I think like ABC Extermination. Sorry, I shouldn't say Exterminator Company is paying the city to make them do that every month. For
Maybe, right?
That would make more sense. That would make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, just
simple.
I'm always negative on this part where I think like there's somebody in City Hall of whatever city who all they care about is like increasing more tax revenue and blah blah blah. And if like, if we got rid of that skating rink, we could put like a big
high rise
shopping. Yeah, we could put something there that would make so much more tax revenue for instead of thinking about what makes a good city that people like to live in. Like I'm fortunate here. Dallas has a lot of its problems that I disagree with, but what I do like is they've invested a lot into like the trail system. Like if you want to go jogging, it's like White Rock Lake and the trails around it. That doesn't make any money. It's a loss for the city. But really, is it? Because don't people want to move to this area because you have an amenity like that?
Yeah.
So it's like it is actually bringing you money in. But if you talk to the wrong people, they want to ruin that too. Like a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, they were trying to take some of the land around White Rock Lake. That's like on one of the big hills. So if you're on that hill, I think they were trying to do it by Mockingbird, and it's where Mockingbird turns into Fisher. But it's like on the top of the hill on the other side of the lake. And if you're standing there, you have this beautiful view of the lake and downtown Dallas. And so most people just, like sit there and enjoy the park. And I think they wanted to like put, 2 or 3 restaurants there and all that kind of bullshit. And it's like, can you just not ruin the space for us? Don't ruin it. There's always somebody wanting to just take away the fun stuff because it's like, yeah, would the restaurant be nice occasionally? I guess. But then when you just want to go sit at the park and the restaurant's going to be playing like patio music and stuff, and you're not going to have that park day you wanted to have, it's all going to be ruined. There's going to have to be a parking lot and all this noise.
Yeah.
And so I'm always worried about businesses like yours where is there some sleazy person who's like, what's it going to take to get that roller rink out of here so I can build a condo complex or something?
Yeah.
Just something lame.
That's where I get lucky, where like a lot of people, if they grew up in Mesquite or if they, they've lived here, either their kid has gone there or they've gone there or they have some type of, they
got
like,
history.
There's a lot of people that have that. And so I'm lucky. And if not, I try to,
And that's my own paranoia. Like that may not be happening at
Yeah.
all in Mesquite. Like that's just, I just get worried about any mom
Yeah.
and pop thing that they don't want to help them thrive.
Yeah.
You know, and they could definitely make things easier on independently owned businesses. Mm-hmm. But I'll get somebody from Mesquite on here on the city council or something.
Well, like I was saying, there's this one girl on the city council that's awesome, and so I think we have some good things going. Maybe we'll see.
What do you think are your short-term plans? You said you wanted to make it pretty.
I just mean like I redid the snack bar tiles and like the snack bar, like the little light fixtures that used to be in there. They were in there forever, and like it was one where like there were all these different tile thingies, and they were all like busted out, and one was cockeyed and fallen out. You know, it was just. I don't know. It just looked like an old rundown roller rink. And so I've been just stuff like that. Like I'm trying to make it like, oh my God. And all the ceiling tiles. So for the fire inspection, I had to go and you have to replace every ceiling tile that has a crack in it. And if it has on like the edge of a ceiling tile, there might be like the corner is like messed up.
Yes.
So you have to caulk that with like fire retardant caulk, which I learned how to use a caulk gun up on a ladder and whatever. It's red. It's the red kind because it's fire. But like, and then you have to wait till it dries and then go paint it all. But it's like that building is so old and so many things have been hung from the ceiling that all of the little like the grid, the metal grid,
they're suspended ceiling.
Yes, they're like all bent, and so it's like when I replace the ceiling tile, not only do you take it out and all the insulation falls on your eyes and down your throat because it's just loose insulation. It's not like
Yeah.
But after you do that, then you have to get up there, and it doesn't fit because the thing is, it's bent because someone hung a pinata, and this, like whatever, and it's just like, oh my, I'm so envious of buildings like this.
Yeah,
it has like the nice,
where it's new.
Straight, new ceiling tile. But I looked at like someone selling their ceiling tile from a skating, grid for it's like $35,000-$40,000 for like the grid, and I'm like,
we've renovated 2 homes, and it's always more than you think it's going to be. It always takes longer. All the stereotypes, But thinking about that on the scale of like, what is your square footage there?
It's the building's 100 by 200.
Yeah. Okay. So 100 by 200. So 20,000 square feet. Oh my God. So yeah, a ceiling for a big open.
Yeah.
Yeah. That now all of a sudden when you're like the grid is $30,000, you're like, I guess that sounds about right.
And that was like a used one that someone
one.
Yeah, like a rink went out of business and they were selling it.
You don't think there'd be value in that too? Like, hey, we closed up, let's sell the ceiling.
I know. But when you look at it's just like, how is this so bent out of shape? And you don't realize how hard it is because you cannot get the stupid rectangle in there if it is bent.
And you got to be careful, right? Because if you try to bend it back to place
it'll break.
too much,
yes, yes.
Well, now you know why they're all bent up, because everybody before you was like, just keep it going one more year, and I'm not the one who has to buy it.
No, and the worst is too, instead of replacing them, some people will paint the whole ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Well, then if you try to replace one, it's like sealed in, so you can't pop it. You have to cut it with a pocket knife so it'll pop up. Otherwise, it.
Look at you, all the stuff you've learned.
You don't even know.
Look at all these skills you have now.
I do. I really have.
Now you can walk in like. Did you ever think you'd be the type of person you'd be sitting on a podcast going like, I like this ceiling.
No, I know.
This is a good ceiling.
I do it at airports. And at airports, I'm like, God, their ceiling tiles are so nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, what kind is this? Because sometimes it's like different. And I'm like, what is this kind? Like maybe I should look into this.
It's like it sounds like a snobby thing, and I don't mean it this way, but like once you've owned a home or a business or something like that, and you've had to purchase these things. It's like when I talk to people who have never had to do this, I'm not looking down on them, but I think like, nothing of the real world. You know nothing of what things cost.
Yeah.
And because now I realize it's like, man, even like I was just talking to somebody the other day. It's like we were talking about these comedy specials, and it's like there's a lot of bad ones out there, where they look bad, they sound bad, they didn't have a good camera or anything. And I still can't even criticize those now, because I'm thinking like, God, I know that took so much work to make that shitty comedy special. Like they cared about it. They tried so hard, and it just didn't work that night for whatever reason. And it's the same way with these businesses. I'm just thinking like, especially from owning a house, it's like I don't even look at people's home anymore to decide if they're rich. I'm like looking at their plants outside. I'm like, damn, look at those shrubs. Those are like $100 each. They have like 50 of those, just shrubs. Like, so what's the rest of the house like? And business the same way. It's like just thinking about like, I wonder what the light bulb budget is here. You know,
Yeah.
how many times?
I always see like I'll be driving and I see people have ladders in their backyard. And I'm like, ladders cost so much money.
Oh, yeah.
Why are you leaving this ladder? Like,
You're leaving this in the rain?
I know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
someone could just steal your ladder. Like ladders are expensive.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, now your big 15, 20-foot ladder that terrifies me. Yeah. And then it's the stuff you don't think about too. It's like, okay, I got a 20-foot ladder. Where do I put this? Like,
Right.
where does it go in this building somewhere? You know, just all the little details to run this stuff. It's fascinating to me that anything ever gets done and things stay open, right? It's all expensive. It's all hard. And I'm assuming there's not a manual of like, here's how you run skating rinks.
No.
You know? Yeah. Are there any weird sayings amongst like roller skating owner? Like my dad worked in the elevator business, you know, so you'd be like, how's it going? How's that elevator business? He's like, oh, it's got its ups and downs, you know, bullshit like that. Anything like that? Any like fun little shop talk y'all have?
I don't know.
Y'all got to start making some inside jokes.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty.
How deep is the owner community? How like you guys have like each other's cell phone numbers and stuff? Like
Around Dallas, like
Mm-hmm.
I have some of them, but not like Facebook. You know,
Yeah,
and we see each other every summer for the social skate thing.
it sounds
most
like
of the
y'all
time.
get along though, right?
Yeah, well, at least
Not too much beef.
Right. Yeah. For the most part, but I just think that's really cool that they all came together to do that. You know, like to support each other's business.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to survive, right?
Yeah, and I also think so. Aloha and Mesquite just closed, but I think it's cool for like 30, however many years. Like they were 6 miles from us.
Mm-hmm.
Most states have 1 or 2 rinks in their state, and like both of those businesses up until now like survived 6 miles apart. I've never heard of a city that has 2 roller rinks ever.
Yeah.
Never. Anywhere. That's pretty cool.
Were they open when you took over, or did they close before?
They were. Yeah, they closed a year ago.
I mean, even though like you're psyched about having like you want more of this so the culture grows, and you know because to me to think like there's 2 of them that close, it's like, well, that's great because that means there's potentially that many more skaters, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you go to like if you go to Home Depot and they're out of something, you can go to Lowe's. It's usually right now, like down the street, not too far, so it doesn't actually hurt their business. Or like Pepsi and Coke, you know, you think they're competing, but really they're creating like 2 different loyal audience. Like because they're both competing, they actually both get more business somehow.
Yeah,
it's a weird thing. But would you have nights where you're like, oh, that's great, they're there, that's so cool, but also like, do you drive by and you're like, why are they busier than us? Or like, why are you like?
I never drove by.
There was never like any kind of a feud or like a jealousy or anything.
No, not really. I mean, they had they had one of those nights where it was like alcohol. Like they would have alcohol night, and they would have a ton of people. But then also like I'd be looking on like the Mesquite Facebook, you know, what's up Mesquite or whatever, and there's like, oh, someone pulled a gun or like the cops are there, and I'm just like, oh, that's why I don't want it. Like
I don't want that trouble.
I don't want that publicity. Like I don't want people to see cops in my parking lot. You know, but it brought in a lot of people. But it's like to me, it's not worth that anxiety and stress. Like, I would rather have a calm, like not huge session and make a decent amount of money than make a huge amount of money but be freaking out the whole night because someone's gonna get hurt and then there's the cops and you know.
Yeah. Now, I'm not doing this, so don't think I'm like trying to figure this out. But if I were opening a skating rink in Dallas, would you be like, we got competition now? Or would it be like, heck yeah, another one?
In Mesquite, yes. In Dallas,
Mesquite?
no. Like,
You'd show up with a bat and be like, listen, we got to talk.
No. I've always wondered, like, why? I don't know. I don't even know when the other place opened, but I was like, why would you do it 6 miles down the rink from one that was already there? But who knows?
But it worked. It worked for a while.
Yeah, it worked. No, there's a new one coming in Dallas. I'll advertise for Dawson. Interskate is in Louisville, and he's opening an Interskate Dallas, which is it's on like Josie and something down there.
Okay, so it'd be kind of like North Dallas.
Yeah, and it's not a brand new building. It's like a building that exists, and I think there's like a trampoline park up above. But they're doing so well that they're gonna, you know,
oh, that's great.
Open up another one. His grandfather his name's Luther, and he grew up speed skating with my dad, and so like there's a connection, and you know, like.
You guys are you're gonna have to get together these, like the history of this is so deep, and like the average person who's not in this game with y'all doesn't understand this, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't expect to learn that today either. But y'all have to figure out a way to be the owners, like this generation of owners, now that you have all these tools like social media and things, y'all got to be the ones who get together and kind of build this culture to like the max right now. Y'all could get together and figure out, like the way they've made the summer thing, I feel like that's just baby step. Like y'all could figure out stuff to do year around that is just skate culture for, North Texas, I guess. Maybe would be a good way to look at it. Because there has to be something unique here if they had that many places in the past.
And they still do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't happen somewhere else. That means there's something in DFW that's unique here that you guys could foster and continue to grow and just make it something really special where people are like, around the country are like, have you been down to like this North Texas scene, whatever they're doing down there? Y'all could probably get pretty creative when, y'all should have like a monthly dinner or something together and just like swap your ideas around and see what y'all could come up with. Because as crazy as it sounds to have something 6 miles away, like I'm thinking about music venues and comedy clubs, right? Where they're running into the same thing here in DFW. Like I think we have like 13 comedy clubs in the DFW area, which is really unheard of if you're not something like New York or LA or Chicago. And I don't know these owners well. I know a couple of them, and there's not like a feud or anything, but there's definitely like this kind of territorial thing that they have. And it seems really stupid because it's like, well, you just need as many funny comedians as you could possibly get, and then your club will do well because in DFW, there's, 8 million people now.
Yeah.
So you're not really competing with each other if you're just trying to get 300 people in this club tonight to sell it all out. But several of them do. They'll have really strict radius clauses. Like if you perform here tonight, you can't perform these other places, for however many days or weeks or something. Man. Yeah, and where it's like, I think we got enough people here. That doesn't matter.
That's weird, yeah.
So they have, it feels like, without me knowing all the inner workings, just talking to the comics that I know, it feels like there's very much of a, like, this is my area, like, don't step on my toes. And from a fan perspective, it's like, that seems to be really hurting a lot of them.
Yeah.
Rather than going like, okay, we're doing this night. Why don't y'all do this that night, and we can all kind of share the wealth? Because kind of that whole like a rising tide raises all ships, rather than competing with each other. But to think that y'all have that, like I didn't know y'all had essentially like a lobby that's making sure these companies aren't ripping y'all off and trying to make you pay all these fees, RSA, that kind of stuff. Y'all have a huge, bigger network than I realized. Y'all could do, I don't know, y'all could build something really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful for them. Like at the trade show, they have there's like I said, there's a particular group of lawyers that they only do like family entertainment stuff, and so they will have like a mock trial every year, and this is awesome. They will have a mock trial and bring like an actual lawsuit that has come up for this certain rink, and they'll go through the trial like it was and like show like, well, they were negligent because they didn't do this, and this is what their lawyer said back, like, no, this and this, and yada yada. And it's really educational. Like if you go to the trade show, you go sit in on that and look at it, and like it's I'm thankful that someone's there because
I didn't even think about like some dirtbag could come in there and just try to sue you frivolously over something, you forget about that. Yeah.
Luckily, Texas is
they're very pro business.
What is it called? Oh my Lord. It's a something liability state to where assumed liability state to where if you were doing an extreme sport or something like roller skating, you're assuming that this is a dangerous sport and you may get hurt. And so instead of going, oh, I got hurt because roller skating, you can't do that. Like it has to be like this happened and their skate fell apart and
they had a sharp metal spike in the floor.
It was like their fault. Yeah. So, but
I worked at when I was a teenager. I worked at Eisenberg Skate Park in Plano. Yes! Do you remember that?
Oh my God, I met Arlo Eisenberg. Yeah.
And that was one of those things where when I was a teenager, I didn't really think about it, but as an adult, I'm like, how were there so many injuries? Like they had a robust waiver that I'm sure they had attorneys write up for them. But there would be people who would drop their kids off who have never skated, skateboarded, anything, and they would rent a skateboard and pads to go on ramps. Yeah. Which seems, I mean,
bad. That's bad. Yeah.
You see the wide variety of skill level that comes to your place, and there are no ramps.
Flat.
There's no ramps. Now imagine them, and all of a sudden they can go hit the, 6 foot, mini ramp. And it's like sometimes these parents would be dropping these kids off and we'd talk to them like, look, like the owners probably didn't like this, but we were talking to them like a teenager's like, hey, this place is pretty serious. And I know we're giving him pads, and I know, like, you know, we would give him a helmet, pads, all this stuff. We're like, but it's like real dangerous.
Yeah.
And this kid seems really uncoordinated. And they're like, no, we're going to drop him off. We're going to go to a movie. We thought this would be fun for a few hours. And it's like, it's fun for a lot of people, but probably not him. And then sure enough, it's like, you know, 40 minutes in, it's like broken arm, you know, broken wrist, whatever. And do you get like if I say something gross about an injury, do you get like weird? Okay.
Yesterday was the 25th anniversary of my teeth knocked out for the first time.
Oh, I was going to tell a teeth knockout story.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then you can tell me how you knocked yours out. But no, one of these kids who we were like, I mean, in my mind, it probably wasn't this dramatic, but we're like begging. We're like, please don't leave your kid here. Like, you know, because you can just see it happening, you know.
Yeah.
They got him a skateboard. They don't know what they're doing. They were going to drop in.
Which is so much harder than people think. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the amount of commitment, if you've never done it, and if you've never, like, you know, you're going to fall a few times, where it's like, if you've been skating for years, but you've never dropped in on anything, you at least know how to fall correctly, right? So you're ahead of the game a little bit. This kid's never done any of that. So he's doing it on a skateboard. You know, you got to push down and drop in. He freaks out as he's committing, and he goes to turn and grab the coping on the ramp. But instead, when he's coming down, he hits his teeth on the coping, and he just shatters his teeth. And so he's coming up, just blood all over his hands, screaming and crying up to the counter. And we're like, all right. Like, you know, like, I mean, I'm just a teenager. Thankfully, we had like older supervision who knows, like, yep, we call 911, and, you know, the Plano fire department's like down the street, so they know how to just get there real quick. And the parents come back and they're like, what the hell happened? And we're like, we begged you, like, don't leave this kid here. But, so you had your teeth knocked out 4 times?
Yes.
Oh.
4 different times.
How many? How many in total?
Front 4.
Bottom or top? Top, yeah.
So the first time I did competitive cheerleading, and I was a freshman in high school, 2001, and I was a back spot. So girls like spinning around, you know, when she comes down, spun around with her elbow in my mouth, and so knocked the front 4 out. But they were like knocked backwards, like not out. They were like,
so they're just bent back in your mouth,
folded backwards, yeah, like up again, yeah. So then I had to go to the dentist. They like jammed them back and put them back, and they can kind of reattach.
So you kept those? Kept them,
and then, like, maybe 2 years later, I was in a boat in the like Gulf of Mexico, but it was like a fishing boat, and it was big waves, and I don't know, wave took me up, and like I was flying, and the first thing that hit was like my teeth on the boat. So that was the front 2, and they also weren't out; they were just like backwards, and that was like 4th of July or something. And
you had them bent back twice,
and
God,
because and
teeth are so resilient.
I was out of town. I was like out of town. It was 4th of July, and we had to find some random dentist that would come and put them back. And then the next time it was cheerleading again. I cheered at TCU, and a girl was doing a backflip, and I went to catch her, and I got another elbow. And at that point, they kept putting him back. One of the time, maybe that time they broke off, but like, you could put them back, and then I got root canals in them. But
so the third time they still attempted to put them back?
Yeah, and then I think that time they were dead, so they did root canals, but they were still my teeth.
Yeah.
But until they turn gray or whatever, you can keep your teeth. And then like the next time,
I can't stop like licking my teeth right now.
Yeah. The next time I was doing roller derby, and they were already root canaled, so like they were dead.
Yeah.
But they were still my real teeth, and I just got hit in the face and got done and took my mouth guard out, and my teeth just came out. And like everyone thought I was the coolest person. Like,
jeez.
You know. Yeah, but
you've got more credibility than like some hockey players.
I know. Yeah.
What is that pain like? The first 2 at least.
It was just like getting hit in the face. Like, it wasn't.
It's not like I feel like, you think it's your teeth, so you feel like it's going to be the extra pain.
No, it just feels like, I've never gotten punched in the face actually, but I imagine, it just feels everything hurts.
Yeah. Did you see that incredible ice hockey Olympic photo from the guy who got a couple teeth knocked out, and then he went on to like score the winning goal?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I'll show you the picture later. But there's like this incredible picture of him smiling with his teeth missing and his face bloody, and it's like, that's so American. Like,
yeah. One time in roller derby, I didn't get my teeth knocked out, but I got like this part of my lip got split open on the rail.
Oh.
And I had this awesome picture. I was in the ER, and there was a huge thing of blood, like right here,
yeah.
And I had my mouth guard in my hand, which is dripping in blood. And I still had skates on. I skated into the ER. And that was really cool. And yeah.
Skated into the ER. That's awesome. Roller derby. Is that like, it felt like that was big for a while. Is it still is it a thing now that's really popular, but it's just a subculture or what?
Yeah, it's still happening. Maybe it's not as popular as it was. I played in Austin, so I played like the bank track, which there's only 7 bank track leagues in North America.
So the rest of them play on like a flat rink like yours?
Yeah. So, they'll tape down a track and play flat track, and it's awesome and great. It's just a different game. Like, it's slower.
I was going to say, is the flat harder because you can't pick up a lot of speed?
No, there's different rule sets.
Oh,
but like the flat, they do it's like they do a lot on their toe stops, and they want to stop you and this and that. And bank track is more like the rules are set so you go fast. Like they want you to be going fast because it's more entertaining for the crowd. And
yeah, because I remember at one point, like maybe the 2000s, it was being televised. Like it was there was like a big league that was taking off, right?
Yeah.
Did you like doing the bank tracks or the flat tracks?
I never did flat track.
You always did bank.
Because bank track was too good. Yeah. Flat, I don't know.
But yeah, I guess you have to have your own complex for that, which is expensive for something that's only being used every so often, right?
Yeah. Yes. Like in Austin, you have a warehouse, but you have to store. There's like a practice track, and there's also like the track that you use for games, and so they would have to break that one down, and then every time before we had a game, like in the event center or whatever in Austin, the whole league, if you weren't playing, you had to come and you had to drill it all. I mean, we put it together the day of, all day for like 8 hours, and then we play on it, and then that night, unless we had it reserved for the next day, you have to break it down to like midnight. I mean, screwing stuff. It wasn't like a piece together thing. It was like you drilled it together, and here's your bucket of screws. Go like
and you better do a good job because you might be the one to catch your wheel on it, right? Yeah. I obviously understand how you got into roller derby because it's like just a natural extension of what you're already doing. But what were like your teammates like? How did the average person find that sport? Did you ever talk to people about that?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I mean, they would have.
Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. We have a 6-month-old. My wife texted me a couple times. I was making sure it wasn't an emergency. It's not. It's just pick up something on the way home. But anyway, I always wondered how different people got into that sport because it wasn't mainstream, it wasn't popular, but there were a ton of people doing it.
Well, like in Austin, it was a big, like, cool thing to go watch and get drunk and watch it.
Big crowds?
Yeah. I mean, whenever, I think it's kind of smaller now, but whenever I was doing it, an event center, the Palmer Event Center was like packed with people.
How many people is that? I don't know that building.
I don't know.
Like 500, 1,000, 50?
No, I mean maybe 1,000.
Okay, so this is a big crowd. This is an audience that's paying to come watch this, right?
Yeah. And buying drinks and but so it was kind of like a cool thing, and then they'd have open tryouts, and you can come, and you don't have to know anything, and it was just kind of, I don't know why people would randomly. I did it.
It seems like a brutal sport with not like it seems like you'd be like the first generation of like UFC fighters where like you're getting beat up and you're not making any money. Like it's the love of the game, right?
Yeah. I did it obviously because I could skate, but to like make friends because I just moved to Austin. I didn't know anybody. Most people in Austin, at least, it's like, like misfit people that kind of just don't have any, and everyone just kind of comes together and let's try this weird thing.
Yeah.
And
man, skating's that's your life, huh?
Yeah.
I know most people don't move to a new town and go, you know what? I'll figure out where the skaters are and make some friends. That's awesome, though. You talked about that other one. They're doing so well that they're opening up a second location. Has something like that ever crossed your mind about branching out and doing another one?
I'm like, I have a hard time.
I know it's only been 3 years, so I'm like really, but like long term, at some point, this is going to feel second nature to you.
I have a hard time giving responsibilities to other people because I was one of those kids where I did the group project, but I did the whole project because I want to make sure it's right, and I just have a hard time, that would be hard to me, like making sure that this is running the way that my family, my third generation, would be proud of, like this person who really, do they care? Do they not? I don't know. Are they going to run it right? Are they going to tell the customer to go F off?
Right.
Like that would be my problem. But I mean, that would be great if I was doing so well that I could.
Yeah.
It would just be hard to,
Yeah, no, that's why I asked, because it already feels like it's probably hard for you to. Do you have a hard time hiring people for this place that it's your baby?
No, because we hire like teenagers, and they can, they can do the basic stuff. But my mom is the one in the front office. And
that's why I was asking, because it's your mom and Richard, people who already have deep roots to this stuff.
Well, the problem with my mom is she was a teacher forever. And she was also like, she used to live on Swiss Avenue. Like she was an uptown, fancy lady. And so she's not the best at being like, well, okay, let's find a solution. This, you can't do this, but she's like, no, you can't do that. And she shows it in her face. She's
sure.
And she's 78.
But there's a time and place for that too, right?
Yeah, but and I've told her, I'm like, if she's like, no, he needs to get a ticket for this and that. It's like, if we lost $10, I don't care. If they leave happy, if they had a good experience at this place, it's my family's place, I just want everyone to love this place. I don't care if I lost $10 or 20, I don't care. And she does not. She's a rule follower, and she was a teacher, and it's like, I can't get it through her head. Just let it go. It's fine. Just make sure everyone's. I don't want a bad review. I just want everyone to be happy.
You probably need the balance, though. You need somebody like that in your corner so that you also don't get walked on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't want people catching on that if you do that, she'll let you slide, and then they take advantage, right?
I mean, if it happens 3 times in a row, I mean,
you obviously don't seem like the type of person to get completely walked all over. I don't mean it that way, but. You're like, I'll lose my teeth for the 5th time if I have to. Yeah. Man, she's 78. Yeah. How much longer are you going to make her work there?
I don't make her. She's like, please don't take away my hours. I want to work. But she's one of those people where she has to interact with people. She retired from teaching and she worked at a little boutique. And then she hates it if she's just alone all day or relaxing all day. She wants to interact with people. She has to talk to people.
Yeah.
And so she wants to do it.
I never would have guessed she was 78. She looks fantastic. So her concept of doing things must be working, because she does not. She's an incredibly healthy looking 78. Yeah. So that means, God, could you imagine she if she's this healthy now, your mom's gonna be running that window at 90. That nuts to think. So. That would be awesome, right? Yeah. Man, does she get excited too about the 65th anniversary coming up?
Yeah,
do y'all
she
talk
gets
about
excited.
that?
Yes, and so in the 90s, my dad was sick of it. He was just done, and he had a band, and he turned the back party room into a band area, and his band would practice back there, and he had nothing to do with the rink. The whole 90s, my mom ran the place herself.
Really? Wow.
Yes, I mean he'd be there, or he'd be playing at 8 Airs or something but you could call him, but she ran the place, and that's the problem.
This is why she's a stickler, because she's got the time put in.
Times have changed too, and she doesn't and Richard doesn't either, because they both saw me when I was born and a little naked baby, and it's well, now this naked baby's telling me how to do my job, and I get it,
it's
but
hard.
It's I know what's best, because times are different. You can't just be get out of my building. Blah. My dad's a huge dude, and he used to kick people out if a kid was talking back. My dad would pick him up by the back of his shirt, carry him out, and throw him out the front door and say, "Get off my property." You can't do that anymore.
Maybe.
But
maybe that's why it's survived as long as it has, right?
Yes. But
do you ever wonder that too? You've been in this for a long time as well, right? But you've been running it for 3 years. And so the flip side of that too is you have to decide which lessons they're giving you that are the ones that they're right. Trying to distinguish have times changed, or is this actually really great advice? That's got to be difficult too, right?
I've had friends that had businesses, and I've watched them burn up in smoke online because they took a post down or made some wrong comment, and people just the internet just goes insane. And it's my mom and Richard, they don't realize how that can happen. They're
okay.
Oh, that will happen. And it's I have friends and their business died because of some stupid crap, and
it's always going to be the worst review. It's never the nice review, right? It's always 50 people could have had a great experience and one person had a weird moment, and everyone's going to go, I heard about what happened over there. And it's always one. Yeah. Okay. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. Again, we're the first generation to know the world before and after social media and how much it can benefit you or really destroy you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But come on, give me something that they gave you that was incredible advice that you didn't think about.
Who's they?
Richard or your mom. the people who've been there, who it's like they're looking at you like you're the little girl still. They give you some advice, but you're like, damn, that was rock solid.
Dang, I don't know.
There's got to be something. If you think about it later, bring it up.
All right, let me think.
Because
it.
Like one of the comics came on this show and they were talking shit about the Hyenas Comedy Club over here in Dallas. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's at Mockingbird Station. It's been here for, I don't know, probably like 20 years or something. And the owner can be a little polarizing because he's got all these rules that he feels matters. And he's got his system of like why certain people get to perform there. And then he's got his philosophy on like what you pay amateurs, right? And people disagree with that. The people who work those clubs seem to be okay with this system, and then a lot of the people who don't work his clubs, you know, they've got a lot of shit to talk about it. But the whole time he's bitching to me on here about like how bad that place is and these rules and this rule and this rule, I'm thinking to myself, you know, like, yeah, but if I opened up a place, you know, and ran it for 20 years, I'm thinking about that moment that happened in year whatever where it's like, you know, if I had done it this way, it would have worked. And, you know, but I did this and messed it up. Or, oh, I remember when that happened. We did this and it worked out perfect. And it's like there's all those like little one-off moments that you get when you run a place for 10, 15, 20 years, whatever. And I bet that's hard to communicate to someone who's new, you know, running it new, where, you know, you're trying to say like, yeah, we tried that. This is what happened. But also times have changed. And it's like trying to decide, has it changed or is that good advice? It's got to be tough.
Luckily, like I grew up there. So when Richard was working there, I was there. I was just a little kid, you know? So it's, I don't know, every now and then he'll have a good idea. And we have a thing where like, he knows, like if he has a good idea, I'm like, I'll say that's a good idea. And I'm like, no. Like, we don't tell Richard he had a good idea because his head will get this big, you know? And I'm
get
like,
back in the clown
wait,
suit.
that was an idea, you know, like,
yeah.
He has, it's like random things that I don't really, and sometimes, okay, here's a stupid one.
Okay. Yeah.
So stupid. So, I'm really smart, but sometimes things come out of my mouth are not smart. And sometimes I make things so difficult and they shouldn't be, right? So one night I was staying, we had just resanded the floor after the flood thing. And I needed to put like a starting line and a finish line and all this stuff back on the floor. So I stayed there all night and I need to make a straight line. So I went and like found this, you know, we have a whole back room of all this old like wood and this and that. Found this really old piece of like wood and I was going to use it to make the line or whatever. And I ended up, it was way off. And then I had to like, and I was just like over it. And I was like, I don't even care, but at least it's there.
Please tell, I'm just picturing you by yourself in the rink,
night.
Just trying to make a straight line with a board.
And I ended up, I messed.
This big, empty, 20,000 square foot rink. And you're just.
Yeah, and I always have all the lights on because otherwise it's like weird. You know? But, and there's, anyway, next day Richard comes in and I was like, well, I did this, and you know, I measured this, and I tried it, and it's still a little off. And he goes, well, you know, you just put a piece of tape down, and I was just like, oh my god, like I spent like 4 hours trying to make this, you know, and I was just like, it's stuff like that, and it's like it's so easy, and I was like, oh my god. Again,
you know, he probably had to like put that line down a different time.
That's
what I mean.
Times.
Those one-off random things where you're like. Oh God, yeah. You know, they say that would have saved you 4 hours. Yeah.
Yes.
I know. That's the beauty of having, you know, like your 78-year-old mom working the front counter. It's like eventually something like that's going to come up where you're like, thank God you were here. But yeah, I mean, even in my age, it's like, you know, I'm 40 now with my own kids. It's like I listen to my dad about a lot of stuff, but every now and then you'll get some advice where you're like, do you know what you're talking about? And then sure enough, I'll try to do it my way. We come back to doing it his way and it worked out perfectly. And you're like, I guess, you know, because that generation too, like, well, like, you know, when you have a problem in your rink, like we have the luxury of, you know, like YouTube and Facebook and Reddit, like we can look things up and try to figure it out. I don't understand how like our parents' generation or your grandfather, that generation, how they just did stuff. You know, like my dad has built homes, like additions on homes, and ran all the electrical and plumbing. And it's like he didn't have like a YouTube video to go watch to like figure out the code. And I would ask him, like, how'd you guys know this stuff? He's like, yeah, you just know it. I was like, what? No, they didn't answer my question. What do you mean you just know it? And so to think about all the stuff that your grandfather did building that, where it's like,
well, and I'm lucky because he built houses, like that was his business, and I swear by it. Like if he he used all the best materials. He did everything properly. He used, I hear this story, he used a 20-foot level to level the skate floor. Like, it was 20 feet long, a level, but he did everything right. And if it hadn't have been for that, like, I don't think that building would still be standing, but he didn't skimp on like the mortar, he used as much material as he needed, and I'm thankful because it was built, at least it was built properly with all the crap that I have to fix and plumbing and ceiling tiles, least.
And the plumbing, it's like, okay, it's 60 years. That was a pretty good run.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good run for pipes that should have rotted a long time ago.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
But they were just there.
Yeah, you just drew the short straw,
Yeah.
God, what would be fun is to have a, like I said, I really think the owners need to get together more and just start like talking shop because, it's like anything you're in. It's like if when you were cheerleading, it's like when you're hanging out with cheerleaders, it's like the stories of cheerleading all of a sudden come back and all the weird stuff that only you guys really understand. But it's like I would love to hear so many of the nightmare stories of like the pipe burst or whatever, all the different problems you guys have all had to deal with that is so unique to y'all's business. I mean, you guys could have your own little, like if y'all teamed up and started doing, TikToks and Instagram reels of just that kind of like the culture that y'all are dealing with. That would be so fascinating to me just to know what it takes to run these things and keep them open.
Yeah.
And that like, you're making money, but it's you just don't, I think a lot of people, it's hard to appreciate what goes into something like that. And it's like, yes, you're making money, but also if it goes away, like if it's a thankless thing and it goes away, then you lose a fun thing in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so the thing is with the owners now, like it's half young people who have just taken over, like I mentioned, there's a guy named Dawson that's opening the other branch for his grandfather, whatever. But the other part of them, it's all mixed in, are like the older owners that like kind of like my dad, maybe a little younger. But it was like, so that generation of owners, they did it through the disco days. So it was like they showed up and opened the doors and they made mounds of money. Yeah. And it's like, so their mindset, their mindset is you open the doors and that's it, and some of them who have figured it out is like, oh, you do have to do maintenance and update your building. Some of them are like, no, you just have to open the doors and it's showing, and
the ones that still believe in that philosophy, are they still thriving or are they struggling?
No, some of them are struggling.
Yeah.
Some, it's like just a mix, but yeah, all of the upcoming like younger people that are doing it, like it is exciting because we all grew up doing the stupid little competitions together. So it's yeah.
I didn't realize so many of them were having the torch passed like that. That's exciting.
Some of them.
Yeah. I mean, where do you think it's going to go from here?
I don't know.
Like 3 years have gone by. What do you think the next 3 years are going to be like?
Better than the last. I mean, we're going to have a flood and plumbing and all. Fire marshal. I'm sorry. Inspection man.
Yeah.
But
all that's frustrating. But you also want it to be a safe place.
Yeah. But it was just really, really hard. So I think it'll be easier from now on.
It's got to be smoother sailing now, right?
And the plumbing was like 2 weeks ago. So I'm like it is just. What else can I have to completely replace? Because
I think even when we were messaging about this, you were like, hey, sorry, it took me a while. I was dealing with the electrician or something.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, no, that was a whole different smoke detector thing. Yeah.
Smoke detectors. Yeah. The glamorous stuff you don't think about. Ooh, man. Well,
hopefully, to me, like, the basic, like, roller skating, come in, roller skate will always be, but, like, the weird stuff that you do is what makes it fun and memorable and cool. Like people who like the Battle of the Bands. That's not a thing you do at a roller rink. Or they did like sock hops. That's not a thing. It's not a roller rink thing, but you do fun stuff. Like.
So what do you think of the modern versions of that you could bring back to yours?
I just weird stuff comes up. Like, like those stupid Labubu thing. Like that was so fun and stupid, but people are going to remember that because it was dumb, I don't know.
What about Battle of the Bands and stuff like that? You think that works anymore? Maybe not a Battle of the Bands, but what about just a band?
We could do it. I mean,
you know what I mean? Because there's like, there's music venues where they'll have like a residency where for this month, every Monday or whatever, we're going to have this band and they're going to play for, 4 hours. And that helps the band because they get to play for 4 hours 4 times that month and get used to like being on stage and doing more of that. And they end up being like tighter and stronger and better. But it's like, you were talking about like those dead zones. It's like, what if you...
Oh, we used to have a stage at the very back of the rink.
Back by the mural?
Yes, yeah. And it was actually, I think the stage is still up in the ceiling. Like, that was the storage.
The stage is in
like,
the ceiling?
The stage and the carpet that you put on the stage is still...
Oh, so you could just bring the stage back down.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem now, like, I'm happy to do that, but the band is going to... Everyone... They want to get paid for it, but like,
sure.
Okay, how much? I mean, making $8 a person that comes in here.
Yeah,
it's just like, do you want to do it for? And I don't want to be like, hey, come in here and do it for like, to get exposure because that's crappy, right?
Sure.
But like, there's a thing, like, do you see what I mean? I would love to do something like that, but it's like,
yeah, it's tough.
Well, how do you,
Yeah. We'll think. We'll think on it.
Yeah.
That guy, Danny Tran, who I had on here, who was joking around about doing a comedy show there, I hit him up, and I think he got nervous because now he's thinking about the logistics of like, well, because he this is his first year where he's trying to make his entire living off comedy, and so he's doing headlining shows, and he's being real strategic about like where he does it so he can actually sell tickets. And when I was like, hey, the owner said she's down to try it. You want to try it? And he's like, I'm nervous. I don't know if I can sell tickets in Mesquite. And I was like, well, you want to try? You want to go for it? But I was even trying to think how that would work.
Well, you could you do weird stuff. like have him come like guest,
but like
DJ, but he's also doing he's also doing his comedy.
But what do you do? Do you stop the skating and have him like in the middle of the rink,
or don't stop the skating and have him in a little
telling jokes while they're skating?
Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think. I was like, I wonder what something like that would actually look like. Because I was talking to my wife. I was like, I've always wanted to do like a anniversary party for the I'm a Fan of stuff that I do for this, and just like invite the people out who've been a part of it, have a little private party and stuff. And I was like, I wonder if we did something like that there. If you could bring these comics up, like, I was trying to think like, do you shut down the skating and have them all like, I don't know, like sit on the floor or chairs or something for a minute and watch that and then go back into it or something. But there's something there that will work, but I don't know what it is yet. But I've even since that conversation with you where you're like, I'm down to try these things. I was like, I wonder how this works. There's got to be a way to make something like this work without it being weird, When
you think about it, it's just an event venue. Pretend there's no roller skates. You have a huge space. People like on Easter, the week before Easter, we had a church. They had a church. A lot of rinks do church stuff in the rink because they want to write it off as like they're a church and not pay taxes. And I'm not about to gamble with that.
Yeah.
But we did have a guy. He does his like every past 2 years. He does like a sermon for Easter, and he invites his church, and they put chairs, and he does church, and then they skate. But I mean, you have an event menu. When I was a little kid, they used to do like it wasn't Zumba, but it was like yoga or like I don't know, one of the little
whatever the trendy workout is,
aerobic thing. Yeah, it's like they did an aerobic thing because they had a microphone in a big place, and you can do anything. You can do anything.
Yeah. I mean, how much of that do you try to push? Like, do you try to find people to fill in the gaps for that?
No, because I'm so
just working on the other stuff.
Yeah, because I have my other business and I make everything. Like I have a leather press and I rivet everything and I press the rivets. I have a rivet press and it takes a while.
From what I hear, you're going to have to figure out how to get comfortable with hiring help so that you can grow.
I agree.
That's your limiting factor, right? Is there's only one of you. You can't do all of it. Like you're going to reach this threshold. Like you're going to do it the right way, and that's why you want to do it. But you're going to have to figure out how to hire the person who you can train to do your stuff that'll care about it. That way, like if you want to grow it, because right now that's your biggest asset for you is just your time. Like your time's being taken up by the things that you can do correctly.
Yeah. It's just hard. It's hard to find someone that's trustworthy. And
I imagine.
It's hard to find someone that...
It's your family's business.
It's so fun to do, like, because Richard is great at, like, entertainment and, like, but it's like, that's so exciting. But then going up there to meet the Pepsi guy for the delivery in the middle of the week, that's not fun. And meeting the guy to fix the electricity and do this and that and paint the ceiling tiles, that's not fun either. So it's like you have to find someone who will be hired to be motivated to do all the non-fun things also. You see what I mean?
What if you guys collectively, you as a the multiple rinks in the area. What if y'all just found like a person that did that for all of y'all, where you're each chipping in for their salary? Because it's not something that would be like a full-time job where you're there every day. But, the person who, because they're doing it at all these places, they kind of understand, what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then they have a, if y'all are all kind of chipping in to pay that person, then you could actually pay them something where they're motivated to be like, yeah, no, I want to do a great job because this is an easy, like Monday I drive to this one, Tuesday I go to that one. And then you guys could split your cost.
There's a dude that's kind of like that, but he works at one particular rink, but he's like the guy will do like fancy lighting at all places know like this guy will fix our lighting and this guy, we can call him, but it's not like a written rule, like make sure and call him. It's just everyone kind of knows you can grab him and
you guys got.
That's a good idea.
You guys got to organize. You do, because I feel like you probably all are dealing with so many of the similar situations, and that y'all could build this incredible thing right now. Because, like you said, there's a lot of the old timers who probably have that wisdom that you would benefit from, and then there's the new blood coming in who've probably got the new ideas that are going to change the game a little more.
Also, half the rinks have a whole bunch of money, and so they'll just hire this and hire that, and then half of the people, are like I do everything I can do myself, like handyman work. Like I enjoy learning and I enjoy it. Like it's working out, right? But I don't have all that money to like just throw it, And so then it's like that's also a thing. You know? Like, oh, we'll just hire them to replace all your ceiling tiles. And it's like,
I know. I know. Like our home, I don't want to renovate my home. I don't want to do any of the work. And I've done the majority of the work. And we had it down to the studs, because half of it for me is just like, I can't stand like waiting on someone to show up. They're late. Waiting on the quote, they're late, then they finish the work and it's not very good.
They don't do it right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like, at least if I screw it up, it's me and I know who to blame, and like I was cheap, like, but I can't stand paying someone and then when they leave going like, that looks like kind of a half-assed job.
No, yeah. And it
drives me nuts.
It happened to me before. And also like I'm a girl and I'm not a very booming, like tall, whatever girl. I don't know. And people, they just try to like, even people that I think I can trust, they just kind of try to screw me over. Or, oh, you don't need to do that. You just need to do this. And I'm just like, no, I know, I'm smarter than you think I am, but it's frustrating. And like a lot of things, so many things, I just want to be like, if my dad had asked this person or said, hey, this needs to be done, this gigantic man, they would have done it. But for me, it's another layer of crap.
Before I was married, I would have thought you were full of shit. I'd be like, whatever, that's not the way it is. But after having my wife do so many things that I thought would be like just a quick little easy deal, because for me it typically is. Yeah. Like years ago, her battery died in her car, and she had got her last battery from NTB, and so I was like, I'm at work, I can deal with it later when I get home, or I was like, if you can get it jump started, just take it up there. You literally bought it like a month ago, and it's got a warranty. They should just throw a new one in. You're good to go. And so when I call her up later, they're like, I was like, how'd it go? She's like, oh, it's great. They charged me like $120. It was nothing. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? You had a warranty, and it turns into this whole thing. So I call them up and they're like, well, the battery's covered, but we got labor. And I was like, to put it's 2 wires, asshole. Like, what are you talking about? And then like, while I'm arguing, I'm just thinking about like, like talking about your dad. It's like, sounds like a guy's guy where like there's times where you make money and there's times where you do the right thing, right? Where it's like, okay, yeah, I could charge you labor for the battery, but as a man, and this is a woman here who needs a hand, it's like, don't you just waive it and be like, no. We're not going to charge you labor. That way, next time you come back to get your new battery, because we're a good business, right? Like that old school, like, there's times where you skip out on the money because you're keeping the business. But now
corporations say you can't do that, and you don't want to get in trouble. And
well, they were insistent that like we have to charge this. And the other thing was like, well, what's your hourly charge? Because the battery, how long does that take to pump to? I mean, come on, that's not an hour. Especially at the place that like has the tools. Like you got everything ready to go here.
Yeah.
And it took me calling their corporate thing, and thankfully a woman at corporate answered, and I could just be like, I was like, listen, you know what I'm talking about. My wife came in here. they looked at her and realized this was like an easy target. I was like, I bet you've experienced that. I'm just trying to get the money back for this. Finally, she made the call to do that. But the 3 dudes I talked to before that, the sales guy, I don't know, the assistant manager, the manager, whoever, they're like, this is policy, man. It's like, if I came in here to swap that battery out, you would not have done that to me. I know you wouldn't have. And it's like, I wouldn't have believed that was still true in like the 2010s, 2020s. We're in Dallas. It's like you figure there's more equality or whatever running around here. I don't know. And to see that happen to her, like there's been times where she's had to meet like a contractor at her house when we were doing a renovation. And I was like, just keep it on speakerphone so I can hear what's going on. And, before they knew I was on the phone, there's like this conversation happening. And then when I pipe up, oh, hey, and now the terms have changed. It's like, well, what the hell was that, man? And we just would tell them straight up, like, yeah, just because you handled it that way, we're not going with you. We're not going to do that. But
that's why, like, I'm happy. I want to learn all the skills. Like, I want to even maybe go to like learn like basic electrician stuff.
Might as well, at least so if they're trying to screw you.
Yes,
if they're telling you a lie.
Yeah, I hate just having no idea. Oh, I don't know. I need this this to do this. I look like an idiot already, and
Yeah, I bet that's tough. But what you need to do is just like you got to have that. You need to get that old picture of you with your bloody shirt and your mouth guard when your teeth are like. Just put that right up front when they're walking in, so that's the first thing they see of you. Just be like, do you know who you're dealing with?
Yeah.
That's. Well, I don't want to end on a negative thing like that. Tell me what has been like one of the most positive, rewarding things in this whole experience. What is just making you come back every day?
Hearing all the like old people that come in, and so we get a lot of people that walk in and go, I'm in town and I grew up here. Can I just look? Can I just go in and look at it? Look at the plate, and they go in and they'll go, oh, I remember this happened here and this looks the same, but it's not crappy, and like that's cool.
Yeah.
Like who wants to just go in and look,
Yeah. Yeah. You don't think about that.
You drive up to a place and stop and park your car and go in and just be like, can I just look? Like that's a lot of work just to look at a place. So that's and it means it was special. So that's cool. And hearing all the old memories of stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Well, I hope everybody sends you more of those for the thing you're trying to put together for the anniversary. That sounds awesome. And so remind me, what are you going to do that weekend of the anniversary?
Just have a big party.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to have some live bands as like an homage to Battle of the Bands. Maybe the first couple, and I'm gonna try to get some of the old dudes that were like 16 playing there, like who are 70 something now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I can get a full band, and like that would be pretty cool to me.
Oh my god. Yeah. So if you're listening and you know these people, tell them.
Yeah.
Where do you want them to hit you up at? What's the best place if they want to try to get in touch for that kind of stuff?
That's a good question. Probably either like Instagram, like the Broadway Instagram, or Broadway Skateland History is the email.
Okay.
But
Broadway Skateland History at
gmail.com.
At Gmail. Okay.
Yeah, but I want to do like some live bands like that. Maybe I'm planning on like I'm gonna have name tags, but you don't have to put your name. You can put like the decade that you came.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I really want to do. I'm gonna have I want to get a cardboard cutout of my aunt. She died.
Mm-hmm. So, this was the national champion, right?
The reason the rink is there, I want to get a big cutout of her. I'll have the story.
Did you have pictures of Did they have pictures of that leg device she was in?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you gotta get that stuff too.
Yeah. But also there's some really cool like pictures. There used to be a Facebook group that people would post old pictures, but it's really cool. Like I would like to get these little, a stand that has the picture and it's sitting exactly where the picture was taken. So you can sit there and look like this picture was right here and this is what this door and this whatever looked like in the 1972.
Yeah.
But you're looking at it now.
Yeah.
I think that would be just randomly wherever, that'd be really cool just to stand there and be like, whoa, like I see it. So I have lots of plans. Hopefully they all happen.
Yeah. Well, and you got to get like,
and we'll have a big cake and free cake.
Do you have pictures of like the old booth with the records and things like that too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got to get all that stuff. Like the more of that you can put out, I think the better. That sounds like so much fun. All right. Well, I guess I've got plans in October now.
Yeah,
I guess
October
I guess my
17th.
wife and I will be coming out.
Yes.
Anything else you want to say? Everything's at. Are you doing everything through the Broadway Skateland Instagram or website? What are you doing?
Yeah, we have Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all up there. Yeah. So go like do a party or just go skate, right?
Yeah. You can book stuff, like book a party on the website, which I do all myself. But if you want to do a private party like your friends did, you have to call because it's more money, and
Yeah. It's easier to just talk about it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. Anything else you want to leave it on?
No, this is fun.
Well, I appreciate the time.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get you back in here soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
The I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.